Arrendor is on the brink of upheaval. For centuries, the clan struggled against giants until 400 years ago, new dragons crossed the Great Sea, forcing them to unite and build the 10 Bastions. As the threat faded, the clans fractured into the 10 Kingdoms, and all but the last Bastion were abandoned. As ancient calamities stir and darkness rises in the east, my 4 champions must rise up to unite the kingdoms, restore the Bastions, uncover their secrets, and stand against this darkness as a declaration of war.
Calagon Dör. I will discover the secrets of my lineage and cement my legacy as one of the greatest adventurers of all time.
Cleave still in here. The migration of the dragons forced the migration of peoples and beasts, which brings death. We're all invasive species now. I won't let us become extinct ones.
The name's Rodrick Elwood, the voice of this generation, and the greatest performer in lore. Oh, and you should see me with a bow.
And I, Arlyn Dursalai, searching for my father's sword Trident, to bring justice to these lands. Together, we are the 4 Horsemen.
And this is Divine Inspiration.
Hello and welcome, beautiful people. So, a couple quick points of note. First and foremost, Nick unfortunately will not be joining us tonight.
In his home.
In his own home. But for opening up your home to us, Nick, you will get a point of inspiration usable for tonight only.
Whoa.
Wow. He better be watching, bro.
This poor guy. That'd be horrible. He'd assassinate me on the spot for sure. After taking the wand and the cane and the staff, whatever. This may be our last stream, guys. We'll see how I do, how I fare. But beyond that, we are having minor technical difficulties in certain regards, so there may be additional breaks tonight. Not to worry, we will try to keep that to a bare minimum. But that being said, without further ado, I think that's all we've got to do prior to giving recaps. So guys, gather around, get cozy, and enjoy as we get to tell the wonderful stories of legend regarding these 4 horsemen, all told by Divine Inspiration. And so, last we left off, the 4 horsemen, having now failed 3 out of their 4 trials within the Bastion, the Ziggurat, here within the nation of Gracht. These 3, between Calagon, Cleave, and Arlyn, had to now come together and start planning towards who was going to take on the next trial within this Bastion. While we got a deeper look at a trial by fire where Rodrick had to face his greatest fears, and coming face to face with what could be imminent death, he instead overcame time and time and time again, getting quite a bit out of this trial, including a brand new weapon that I believe could definitely help to shape his brand new visual, as his aesthetic is beginning to change to go along with this new leaf that he's turned, if you will. And so, as now Rodrick completed his trial, finding not only this whip, he also walked off with a mask, a very powerful and unique mask, which he promptly put on, and we'll get to see in action hopefully sometime very, very soon. But until then, we still have the other 3 trials. And so, as we lean back into tonight's session, fortunately, obviously, Calagon will not be doing much speaking, but Cleave and Arlyn, as you guys stand outside this door, you watch now as one more pulse comes from beneath the ziggurat. And with it, as air starts to blow back, and you can feel the force against each of your chests pushing you back. You feel these surges of power going through you, as though somehow, someway, more power is being released from this bastion. And as this happens, you watch as smoke starts to crawl out from beneath these stone doors. And all at once, as it starts to kind of bleed out beneath you, at your feet, you watch now as a puff of smoke escapes the very top of this bastion. To signify a new power and a new era of power. As now you can feel that something has changed. Something has clearly, for the first time since opening the bastion, unlocked within it.
Do you feel that, Cleave? Oh, wait. This is the morning, right? Did we
It should
sleep?
still be fairly early, yeah.
Okay.
Is
Wait,
it
which
not?
said that mean?
We slept.
Did we sleep?
Did you guys...
We
You guys
did
went
take
to go for a
we
full
went to
rest,
go
yeah?
for a sleep,
That
yeah.
was what we would like to do next, yeah.
Yeah. Then
Yeah.
that's...
Oh,
We're
okay.
waking
Then I'm
up
not in the
now.
water anymore.
Yeah,
I
you're
imagine,
That's why I was like, I
imagine-
have to talk by
yeah.
myself, huh?
No, yeah, you're
like 6 hours into my sleep, I probably would be like, and then just lay back on the dry surface, keep sleeping.
horrifying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, I wake up.
I miss being able to do this. Do you think Rodrick made it through? We had to have gotten one.
Start looking around, I go, do you feel that?
Feels like power.
Something changed in the last few minutes as you were awakening. There's smoke. Fire. Maybe Rodrick passed.
And some of the fire and smoke came from beneath the door that we're waiting outside of, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
He had to have. After all this time, he couldn't have passed in the other way, right? Something opened. That didn't happen when any of us got ejected.
No, it didn't.
It's
Well
good.
then, I think it's set then. We must pass the other trials.
I think we're onto something, yeah.
I always knew Rodrick could do it. Can you imagine? In his state after the burning, passing the fire trial.
He had what he needed, I think, going into that. He had a
Yes.
fire under him, so to speak, that we didn't have.
Correct. Well, he was right for that trial.
Who would have guessed?
Well,
We were also hesitant to even let him in there. I didn't. He's the only one that got through.
yeah. Well, Cleave, I believe you chose the Aether one.
So it's pretty straightforward, right? You had to fight your elemental. I've just never
Yes.
conceived of this type of energy. I
Neither
don't even
have
know where
I.
to begin.
It was very strange. So don't expect to feel normal in there. But if my theory is true, and the only thing that can hurt him is Aether, I became Aether when I went into the lake. So maybe the need for a full body transformation is not needed.
maybe.
Now, I didn't really get a good look down below. I just wanted to pass. So if you did want to search further, well, that would be a sacrifice you should be willing to take.
What was down there?
It was a corpse. Nothing on him or her. I don't know. I did notice sewage gate, but seemed pretty empty. The one thing that I can't seem to shake off my memory is there was a door, and I didn't even bother. Once I broke the crystal, I I went back upstairs. And now I can't go back.
There was something kind of like that in the ice water
Was there?
thing. There was a bit of armor, little leather armor. Nothing. Well, you wouldn't think anything fancy of it at first, but then it was the one thing in the room that wasn't encapsulated by ice.
Wow.
And if I hadn't felt so, I don't know, overconfident, that would have been the thing to do. But I don't know if Calagon really is comfortable with armor if he's going to be doing that one. But it might make one capable to take on the challenge. Yours specifically stated that you needed a portion of sort of a treasure from the room in order to pass on, to succeed, right?
Well, it says... Oh. I believe the night has drifted my memory. But I believe it said something about taking the form of the one who guards the bastion. That's what was so confusing. But maybe the form was not Aether. Maybe the form was the mask.
So we probably all need some sort of artifact or I don't know, some treasure in order to pass. Like there's a key in every room.
Yes.
That unlocks it.
Yes. I mean, it couldn't have been Aether. I became Aether, and it didn't work. I didn't become dust, so that's a plus. But
Also, I'll take a similar... I tried to just attack the elemental head on when I went into mine.
But just remember, the theory is maybe only Aether can damage this elemental, because my power did nothing.
So maybe I'll take the same approach, but maybe with a bit more patience this time.
So
I needed to rest. I didn't have my head on
pick
straight.
up the rock again, very heavy rock.
Boy.
This is what he gave me. Ugh. It does not weigh this much inside, but this is what he gave me.
All right.
When I told it to submit to me. My assumption is that's its weakness. So either you fight with that, or imbue your club in Aether or something. But I know mere weapons will not work. If lightning could not work, I imagine mere weapons would crush against this elemental. It's also an element we merely understand.
I think I've heard of legends. I've never even seen such a thing. It was amazing, and mine was just water.
Yes.
But yeah, we can. I think I've got my head around it.
As far
I think
as
I'm ready.
Earth trial,
Should we let Calagon sleep?
I think so. I think he's more defeated emotionally than physically right now.
Maybe let's leave him with like a letter or something, just to let him know with everything that he's gonna need. Any last updates?
I'm gonna dig through his
Yes.
backpack. I'm gonna look for some pen and paper. I'm gonna write down just everything I remember about the water trial and how I don't know if he likes armor, but there seems to be some that protects you from the cold. Very good.
Awesome. Wow. It feels like the Earth trial is pretty straightforward. I'll just have to give it everything I've got. I believe you can do it, Cleave.
I know you can do it. I think we all just sort of got twisted up in the beginning. Now that we all know what to do,
I think the insight was beneficial.
yeah,
For sure.
we needed the homework, the scouting.
Yes. Well, good luck, my friend.
Good luck.
I'll
Do
see
a
you on the other
forearm
side.
embrace.
I'll see you on the other side.
Take my morning cup of water and just to the strongest force.
That's right. The strongest horseman and the only one who passed the trial. Oh,
I'm ready to start
Rodrick.
making my way down the stairs.
Maybe bards will sing the name of Rodrick.
At least one will.
Yes.
So, have I reached another side that they have not had access to?
Yes. We've reached the second floor of the bastion.
But thus far, as they may have noticed, for whatever reason, it took an unusually long time for Rodrick to succeed at his mission. So within the bastion, while it may not have taken quite as long for you, time didn't seemingly pass the same for them. Based on the trials that you guys have seen thus far, and how quickly you think they could be overcome, it is unusual the amount of time that it took for Rodrick to finish his.
Yeah.
Well,
No, that's why I'm assuming he
to
succeeded,
know.
because I was out of there fast, in my perspective.
That's fair.
yeah. And again, I came out last, and I went in at the same time, so I have no idea how long it took for anyone.
Yeah. Yours was technically like the most instantaneous.
Yeah.
So we'll touch back on that in a moment.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's
And
trippy.
you guys are
another realm
each
or
going
something.
onto your sides there.
Yeah, buddy.
Let's do it. So who goes
I'm
first?
just gonna
Let's
teleport
see.
my guy.
Who goes first?
Oh, he's in the middle, right? That's where the Aether trial is? Just like in the corner
Yeah,
of this
it
room?
is directly in the center chamber up top.
Directly.
I say you do Earth first, because that one is so easy.
Stop rubbing it into.
You got
Nick.
Well, no, for the specific skill sets, I think it's straightforward. I think you got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it is
it's
more
because of
straightforward.
Nick that we know what needs to be
Yeah.
done.
Correct.
I was gonna
Correct.
say, yeah, it was tricky, and then once those things start coming at you, it's
Oh, wait a
So
minute.
if you
Before I
would have
go,
a whole
started
different story.
on first round, it wouldn't have. I think he would have passed. It just took him like
He,
5
he
rounds.
did very well in many ways.
You know,
I'll say
it
that
took him
much.
5 rounds, and he was doing it effectively once he got started on
For sure.
the path.
And he was close to a breakthrough for sure. So it had me a bit saddened. But that's alright. He'll be here to throw down in the trial next week.
Oh yeah.
I will, of course, before I break apart, drop some good berries into the mix. So I'm going to do my usual 10 good berries. I'm going to pass on 2 to you, 3 to you, 3 to me, and then the remaining 4 to Calagon, just in case Rodrick comes out. That'll be part of the note. So then if
Okay.
Rodrick comes out hurt, he can give him some good
3
berries.
good berries. Awesome.
What's the confirmation that you believe that I beat my trial?
Smoke pluming out from the top of the bastion as well as from underneath
From
the
under
door
the
while
door.
energy
And a feeling of
pulsed
power,
out.
right?
Yeah.
And like the pulsing of power and air coming out.
So it's a very similar feeling to when the bastion had first been unlocked.
Ah, interesting.
Alrighty. So-
Amazing.
With that, go ahead and roll for combat, guys.
So initiative.
Yep.
All right. I'm a +0, so
Just them two, I'm assuming, right?
Just those two for now. Yeah.
here we go.
We'll see how quick these guys run through these.
Hang on a second.
In typical Arlyn fashion.
7.
Just by that face, I know you won. He
7.
went, not bad. I got a 2, so
Nice.
just by that face, I know.
Shoot, hang on.
All right.
Let
I
me
do
assign
have
all my
inspiration though.
abilities.
So you don't want to use it for the
I don't
trial?
want to use it for this. I want to use it for the actual trial, just in case.
Oh yeah, don't use it for that. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Okay. So
I'm
then,
gonna choose to fail it. I do feel like the vibe would be for you to go
Cleave.
first. No, that's okay.
in no way that is normal and clearly very otherworldly, something that spits in the face of nature as you know it, you feel as this emptiness starts to take over as you touch your hand to the base of this. And you can watch now as it's not this immediate portal, but as you look down, it's almost like the sands, the earth below you is getting torn apart into sands and being pulled downward. And the more you watch, the more you feel almost drawn into it. And it's only as you kind of space out looking downward into this highly unusual kind of almost artistic expression of this bastion that you start to realize that you are actually falling. You just don't have the same feeling that you would normally get. As now, looking around you, the darkness is growing. And instead, light starts to overcome from underneath you. And you can see the makings of this, again, otherworldly river that Arlyn had previously described to you. And the sounds that you would expect being washed out instead by this empty, dull, muted nothingness is clearly unsettling. Especially being that there is for you already a creature looking up at you, waiting for your arrival. Not quite as small as he had described it at its onset, yet not yet violent in any way. As you slowly float down, it's not like falling off of a chair or even stepping down from a stairwell. Instead, as your feet hit the ground, it's almost like you'd been standing the entire time. Comfortably. Your feet just fall into place. And you can see now where this mask shifts to follow your sight. And slowly but surely you watch now as arms begin to form outwardly. And rising from its sides, you can see where the palms start to close and rocks from all over start to swarm this creature, creating this unusual rock orbit around it.
He's moving.
With that,
I want to just like look around the room, take in my surroundings this time, and not immediately jump into action like I did last time. But I understand a lot of the room from the description that Arlyn gave me. And then it occurs to me that maybe I do have to just jump right into action, literally. Hang on a second. Well, I want to make sure I got all my things picked for the day. All right, I got it.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, so I've been meaning to ask a lot of for a while now, like all the stuff, animals and stuff that I've seen. The big one has been specifically tiger. Have I ever seen a tiger?
I would say it's definitely not out of the realm of possibility. Yeah, sure. It's not so unusual, especially given the fact that people often use tigers as like a circus animal and things of the nature. So.
Right on. Oh, actually, one more, because well, I know I've seen an ape because we already did that one, but the question is, did you describe to me, and I genuinely don't remember, did you describe to me that there were levers down in the downstairs situation, or no?
No.
Okay.
No. Just a door. A door and a crystal that powered.
Either way, okay, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to start. There was a door. Yeah, I have to start ape style. Okay, so I'm gonna do my new hopefully signature move because I love this right here. And I'm gonna pull out my shield, my mace, which I don't really have a thing for. This is the closest I got to it right now. Voila. And I'm then going to leave my
Yeah.
and then I'm going to leave my yeah, that's what I was thinking. My armor around me and my basically all my equipment, practically everything but shoes. And I am going to become an ape.
Nice.
Like a big chimp or a small silverback gorilla. Something that's approximately orc-sized.
Dope to jump into the lake.
That's what I'm saying.
That is
That's what I'm
dope
saying, bro.
to
That's
jump
what I'm
into the
saying.
lake. It's
And then
like endless health.
Yeah, and then I'm going to dive
And then when he dies, he
straight
just goes back
into
to
the
normal
into
Cleave.
the thing, just trusting in Arlyn's
It's
words.
like endless health. So like even if the lake crushes him, like
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I will put one
Wow.
good berry in my mouth just in case
That is
it gets crazy
dope.
down there.
Fantastic.
Make the
oh,
sounds.
snap! Cleave looks like an ape. I love it.
All right.
the
I
sounds.
love
Cleave.
it. It's ape Cleave.
Well then, as
Right on
you
the map.
plummet, you can feel the pull.
I was about to be. Hold on. watch the volume controls, Javi. He was about to get. All right, let's do it.
Okay. Against the ape's 19 hit points, you take 24 points
Goodness
of
gracious.
bludgeoning damage, as you can feel now
Told you.
the crushing impact as stated by the glowing walls behind you.
That's literally.
And as you fall to the ground, you can feel this float begin to
Should've just done the
crush
tiger.
the form away from you, and it's as though it's compacting your ape form back into skin with each crushing blow that you feel. With every step that with every foot that you fall further, you can feel now where one limb at a time, you can feel the weight starting to crush from low to high, and as your legs start to crush out, it's as though you're transforming only in part back as your legs now go back to your orcish form, your torso, and you can feel now as it's going up and your face starts to feel the pain, the crushing headache starts to overwhelm, and suddenly as you lose your sight, your vision starts to go, and you find yourself in excruciating pain, yet lying on the ground.
Oh wait a minute. This is the first time. So first, let's get. Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of sound out of this one. As I jump in. And then I'm just going to lay there, staring up into the ether for a long time, unless this thing comes to bother me, like for a long time, just in contemplation. That's all I knew. If anybody there was an onlooker, all they would see is just staring into oblivion.
In orc form or in ape form?
In orc form, kind of damaged,
Killed it. Ape.
but different body. In ethereal form? Is that the?
You are now laying there staring upward, and out of the corner of your eye you can see, very similar to yourself, you can see the defeated form of a humanoid laid out beside you. Skeletal remains, fully armored, and just truly, clearly crushed at different levels. As you can see, certain proportions on its body don't quite make sense quite accurately to what you would expect. Some parts having been crushed further, yet all still fully intact.
So my spirit is more crushed than my body. By the way, yeah. So my body, does it? I look at my fingertips. What does it look like? Is it just like orc? Different
As
color?
you look back to your hands, you're actually slightly thinner than you'd normally be. And you can feel the lightness. And you can feel this almost numbing feeling all around your body. And it's almost this balance of feeling like you've lost yourself in part only to gain something new, and you can feel the pain still surging within you, and yet it's more in your mind than it is in your actual physical form.
Yeah, for sure. I started shaking, and then I need you, unfortunately, to describe this next part, but then I definitely throw up. What happens to ethereally crushed persons throw up in this land?
I would say that, unfortunately, due to the generally low gravity of everything within your body,
No, it's a
it
situation where
is
I throw up
just
down in instinct.
unaffected
and
by
I'm just like,
gravity. Forward propulsion remains forward propulsion.
I shape water it away from me. yeah, that for sure. And then I climb up only onto my knees, and I wait even more time. I really want. I'm dragging this out here. I don't have anybody to talk to, but I just like almost silently just like weep in the bottom of this cavern for a little while, and then I just get up and I start to look around. Now I finally started taking my surroundings again. What do I see down here?
Make a perception check.
While you're rolling, Nick says hello from the mountains.
Yo!
He goes, you got this.
Nick, you have 1 point of inspiration usable for this session only. Feel free to reward it to whoever you'd like it at whatever point you'd like.
Oh!
That's why I was hoping he's watching.
Dope.
That's great. That's awesome.
Reward it. That's great.
Give it to Rodrick.
Hilarious.
It's so pointless.
Do it.
18.
Know that?
Pointless.
18.
Pointless.
Okay.
Literally.
So,
Sorry.
it's very clear that the crystal that he mentioned having destroyed previously is fully intact. Likely due to the constant reforming and recreation of everything that you've already gotten to see to some extent here. As you can see now, there's still particulate above you that you can see almost kind of crushing and pulling back up through this stream. And you can see now where this steady flow of energy is spiraling upward from this violet crystal.
What kind of armor is this guy wearing next to me?
From what you can tell, it almost looks like a light roughened pelt that was crushed into something more akin to a form of leather.
Wow.
That is unusually small for the figure itself, and undoubtedly too small for yourself.
That's Rumgar armor right there. I'm gonna take the armor off the body. I'm sure you fought valiantly. I'm sorry for what you had to go through. No one can understand better than me and my friend Rodrick. We'll see you again. And I'll undo the stuff and I'll put it in my backpack.
The
pelt leather armor situation.
As you reach for it, I would like for you to make a strength check for me.
Blimey.
At advantage.
$17.
17.
Advantage helped a lot. That was good.
There's this moment where you feel like you are weightless, and everything you touch seems to be just something almost like space rocks. So it's what you could imagine being an astronaut is like, where you feel like you can just kind of swat things away from you currently and watch as they would just continue on. And yet as you reach down to grab hold, you can feel the weight of this form as though it had been increasingly compacted over centuries. And as you start to tug away at it, it's not until you're able to kind of pull hard enough that it almost mistakenly disjoints the skeleton that's there.
Wow.
And as you start to pull, you can see now where the crashing of that bone just collapses onto the ground, and it clearly, for the first time, makes the first loud noise you've heard here, as it just falls to the ground like an entire bookcase. And slowly but surely, you are able to tug this away from the skeleton, but it certainly isn't a light thing to keep on you.
Unfortunately, I was trying to have so much respect for this body, but now I'm the possibilities are all over the place for me. It's a family show. It's a family show.
There is a dull violet glow to this corpse. And as you look around, you recognize that it's not the only thing like that in this room.
Okay.
The gate to your west is no different. Something that already looks heavy all its own. There are also barrels about, a door, and just what looks to be just smatterings of materials, as though something had broken down from this point in times past.
So something has
well
broken
as-
down. Okay, so just like just a bunch of like debris, rubble.
Yeah.
Okay.
As well as the sewer grate off at your east.
All right, so the stuff that has like this sort of like purpley glow, I'm assuming then is like hyper compacted. Metals would be like super compacted then. But the bone, I still have to know. I'm so sorry. I need. So, is it? How difficult is it to? Is all the bones still connected to each other, or is it like scattered at all? Like,
It is
is there just like
connected.
a bone I could just have?
It is
No?
connected, except for the
I don't
one
know if
that
I
you
wanna start, like,
slightly
trying to-
disjointed, but otherwise.
Unfortunately, I will
still
try that
with
one.
the rest.
I'm gonna see if I can just get it, get one bone isolated.
Okay. Going with your previous already, you are able to get it out, and it's clearly, despite being fairly small, generally speaking, it is already as though it's just a handle, two-handed.
Wow. So the thing I would like to try next is to sharpen it. Unless it's really a big one. If it was like a femur or something, then that's a club.
Okay.
But
Yeah. No. By all means, certainly possible given time.
it is possible. Okay, that's the thing I'm trying to test. If it's possible, yeah.
It's clearly not deteriorating in the way that you fear that a bone could, and instead is strangely workable given the fact that it's really hard to get through any of it. It will take a while, but I would allow you definitely to make a series of dexterity checks to try to kind of whittle it down.
All right, so here's the vibe I want. I want to be walking around, pacing, like looking around the place and trying to find all the things I might have to like get into, while just like carving at it with my dagger.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Trying
like
to-
full
trying to
like
get it,
like holding a
Yeah.
child and having to go from like one end and just like kind of putting your
Right.
whole body into the one side.
yeah, with a whole like football.
But
hold, like-
otherwise, okay. Go ahead and make. Yeah, just a general dexterity check for me then,
Okay.
and I'll just make it one check actually, just to kind of roll it all into one.
Just one check, you say? That's great. Because I rolled a natural 20. Let's get it. Natural 20 with a +1.
It is clearly not a usual weapon by any means, but it is certainly a usable one in its own regard.
That's awesome. I got a bone dagger. All right. That's what I need. Well, so while I've been now,
Aether bone.
this won't happen like right away because I do want to be walking around while I'm doing it, but that'll be the end result. So while I'm carving it, I want to walk first over to the easier place to get to. So I'll walk to the right and go to the grate
Okay.
and look at this whole room area. Is there anything in the barrels? Are there any? Did the guy have a water skin by any chance? That'd probably be super heavy too. I can't
He
do this.
unfortunately did not have any regular equipment on
It occurs to
hand.
me now that the only water skin I have still is full of just goo.
The barrels that you can open after a time, having to kind of use your new weapon to help slowly kind of leverage them open, are all filled with stones.
Whoa. Okay. Very big stones?
They're about baseball sized, each seemingly black with like small purple veins throughout.
Wow. I want to try my hand at grabbing one of those. Is that heavy?
Okay. It's like a cannonball.
Wow. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to take a lot of this treasure with me. I gotta figure something out. I want to put down my backpack with the really heavy armor in it and my bone, and just like test my. Because I know Arlyn had to climb a body here. I want to test my ability to do that. Like how easy is it?
Yeah, as you kind of stop being weighed down by these things that otherwise made you feel back to normal, you start kind of hopping, and as you go to do so for the first time, it's as though you were just trying to get to your toes and instead start to take off, and you go airborne. And as you now hop again, you immediately fly all the way up towards where the ceiling in this area actually starts to kind of, you can see where there's like a portion of scattered ceiling here, and before you reach the river's start again, you start to fall back down with just the light hop.
Wow. I saw Arlyn coming down the stairs, and I'm so much better at this than he was. this is amazing. Okay. All right. I think I can do this. I can do this. I'm gonna look around. No, I want to pick up. I want to try to get a cannonball rock in each of my hands, and try to jump. See what I got there.
Okay. As you hold them both tightly, make a strength check for me.
I'm not trying to like dive out of the thing. I'm just trying to test, like, a little test at a time.
Sure.
11.
11. Just kind of getting them into a comfortable enough position where they won't just like knock into each other. You realize that your arms are almost like a pendulum as you feel that your own body is so weightless that you don't even recognize that your own strength is being pulled directionally by the mass of these two stones in your arms, and they kind of instinctively knock at each other, pulling at your momentum. As you go to jump, it feels very, very, I'll say much more similar to how you were just before
just
jumping.
Regular jumping, like as a person.
You're like not going very far as not in the ways that you'd even seen Arlyn jumping.
Okay. Oh, but still jumping a little higher than Cleave would just normally
higher,
like. Okay.
A little bit higher.
All right. So that's an encumbered situation. That's what we're looking at right there. That's okay. All right.
For sure. These things are not light, and you are much stronger in a sense than you normally would be. So the idea that they would weigh you down means that they're not only heavy, they're doubly heavy from whatever you're probably already considering.
Do I have any concept of how far I fell?
Yes and no. I don't remember if he described that portion to you in any way, shape, or form, but it seems as though it went on for an eternity prior to you dying because of the whole shift in life there. But largely, for how long it went and how quickly you felt the pain, it couldn't have been very far at all. Not truly.
Wow. Okay. All right. Oh man. All right. So here's what I'd like to do. Is there any? Well, let's keep looking around. First of all, I want to look down the grate now.
Okay. What you see looking down is the same thing you see looking up.
Whoa. Is that the lower? That's the real next level. I want to. I need what's it called? Leverage. What bone do I have? Is it like upper arm?
Yes.
I forgot what that one's called, but yeah. All right. I want to try to leverage that, but put that one at like as I'm like not quite done sharpening.
Make
put
a
it in the edge
strength
and try
check.
to like
Flat strength check on this one.
Unless there's something that looks like it was a place you would open the grate from. Like, is there like lock or like a?
No.
Okay.
Not specifically.
Enlarge the main map.
A 9. Oh yeah.
9. As you kind of try your best, you're able to get the bone under there, and you can feel now where the bone is even starting to give way underneath the grate.
No, I don't want it to get hurt. No, I can't pull that back out.
Okay.
I get it far from the grate. I don't want to drop it in there. I've been working at it for a while. Okay. All right. So that's just I'm just floating in space. All right. I'm gonna walk to the other side now. I'm gonna leave the bone on the ground here, and take a walk over to this door.
Okay. You can see that it is similar to that east side where there are things that look kind of scattered about within, and what is clearly this just like it almost looks like a set of ore stones that are unrefined, as though they had all been kind of either built into the wall there prior to the formation of this place, or fallen from elsewhere.
That's what. Okay, so you're saying on the other side of the grate, there's just like it seems to be ore.
Yeah, it's just these large stones and the much larger versions of essentially what you're holding.
What I was holding, like the rocks.
Yeah, the rocks.
Okay, that's really a lot. Okay. And then there's barrels over there, or I don't see that.
Yeah, you can see that from the corner.
Okay. I'm gonna see if the gate's open? Give that a shot.
Yeah,
there?
give it a strength check again for me.
All right. Let's see. Is it like a portcullis, like up and down, or is it like just
This is
to
just
get
a
it?
sideways gate.
Okay. 10.
10. It's enough to feel it
Good one, but-
budge,
So it's doable.
but not enough to open it.
All right, then I'm gonna go for another. Oh man. Did this guy have like a sword or anything? Wait, was I about to use his bone? Does he have a sword? I'll drop the bone immediately if he has a sword.
There is a short sword underneath his arm and shield. It is insanely heavy.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Okay, that's a little better. I was still be like, I'm so sorry, Manny. What was I doing? And then I'm gonna try to like pull at the sword and just drag it over to the door.
Okay.
And if I can just drag it on the ground all the way to the door and put it at the bottom base and do the same thing as a wedge and just try to push at it to try to open the gate here.
Okay. I enjoy that. Yeah, go ahead and roll one more strength check at advantage.
Let's go.
That's fun.
Better. No! 11. The second one was also a 10. I got 10 and 11.
That is unfortunate. As you continue to pry, you take it that unless you're gonna spend some serious time on this door, it's not budging for you.
I'm fighting with the meta knowledge of looking at the map right now because I know what I can see the Cleave can't see.
What
Am I
can you
wrong
see
here?
right now?
Is there not a chest behind the door, behind the wall there that wouldn't be visible from his sight?
Hard to say, Joel.
Yeah, hard to say. But for sure, whatever it is, Cleave couldn't see it from here, right?
Arlyn did stress whatever was going on, so I mean,
That he felt like he should get behind there.
up to you.
I mean, I've been down here for a while just moping and crying, so maybe it's it's okay. But I mean, my first I'm trying to justify here for the stream. My first what's it called? What is this called? Bastion trial. What are these rooms called? Trials?
Yeah,
My first trial, I rushed it and failed super fast. And Rodrick took like 10 hours and he did his. So maybe that's the move. Maybe we just keep trying.
Okay.
So I'll just stick with this for a while.
Fair
I'll
enough.
just keep dragging at it, nudging it little by little by little, just
Okay.
like struggling.
I'll say then, for the sake of everyone's patience, it'll take a while,
Yeah.
but it's certainly doable. Just roll one more d20 for me to determine.
How long?
Just yeah,
4.
4. Yeah, it's you're just like steadily cracking at this thing over the course of like an hour.
I'm just like,
Just
I wonder what the
just slowly
elemental's
inching your
doing
way,
up there. I have no idea what he's up to.
locking your foot into place while you're just,
Maybe he thinks I'm dead
Shoulder
like
in.
this guy. I did die.
and eventually you're able to get
Get
past.
right back to it.
And it does open. I won't be so cruel as to say that it closes back behind you.
Yeah. All right, let's do this in here. I'll walk over here. I can't move these. And then walk over immediately and just try to like pick up the column of thing and like, I don't know what is this place?
You're gonna try to pick up which? Sorry.
just like the little columns of rock
Debris?
material.
Okay.
Yeah. Or is
Yeah.
that what that is? That's debris, and then the big rocks are the rock you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly right.
All right then. Well, no, I'm not picking up the boulder. There's no way. Yeah. No, then forget that. So I just want to look around, check those barrels too, and see if there's anything of note here.
Yeah, for sure. Make an investigation check then.
12th.
12.
Wait. I don't know that. So sorry. Way worse. 7.
7. Okay. It's not too hard to figure out. Everything is as you suspected. Debris, different barrels over there, and a small chest off in the corner there.
Ah, there is one. Ah, the chest is almost as small as my chest. These pecs couldn't move anything down here. I walk over there, and then I struggle probably to open that lid too. I just...
It will be still difficult, but not nearly as difficult as the entryway.
You know what? It's
here.
been a dang hour. Forget it, man. I'll turn you into an ape again. I need some monkey strength up in here.
Nice. Okay, cool. And doing so, you just fling this thing open with both arms.
Let's go.
With one heavy swing, and with your big ape arms, you look down at a very small roll of parchment.
Wait, I'm sorry. Wait, I don't want to turn into an ape yet. It's very important. I want to go back through and put 2 of the. Maybe I don't want to do this. Yeah, no, yeah. I want to go back through and put 2 of the rocks in my pockets, and then turn into an ape and see if it just makes me like a heavy ape.
Okay. Yes. It definitely seems to weigh on you to some extent.
So this is the question that Tristan and I have been discussing outside the stream for some time. Do I get to become just like a very overweight ape?
Yeah, it's just
like literally,
you're
like
just like forcefully
obese.
gaining
Do I
weight.
become
Yeah,
like the form that I take as an ape?
Yeah, it's just you're just because you're not gonna get any taller. You wouldn't become like a gargantuan.
Yeah, I just
ape
get to be
if
a
you just
chunky
keep
ape.
getting bigger and bigger. You just getting a little heftier.
So I do not wear my armor this time because I've been formulating some of this. I've been like wondering if that's gonna happen.
Very good.
And I'm just gonna be a chunky ape, but I still have my I still have my shield and my because I'm probably gonna try to climb out of here. No, nothing. I got nothing. I just
Cool.
absorb it all into me.
Okay.
All right, chunky ape, and I look into this chest. What's in here again? I'm sorry.
Small roll of parchment.
Let's go. I would like to pick that up. Is that heavy too?
It's nice and light, just as you would hope.
Okay, good.
And as it kind of unfurls in your large primate hands, you look down at it, and it's very simple. What it says, very sloppily scratched onto this piece of paper. It says, "The ore is the door."
The ore is the door.
Or, I'm sorry, the ore is a door.
Then what's the password? I can't turn into a bird. Bird is the word. I have to get through that.
I want to use my gorilla strength and try to get this sword and see if I can start chipping at if there's like a thinner part of this ore and see if there's any way I can get through that.
Okay.
Or if that's just gonna be like
Go ahead and
years of effort.
hit it with that strength check.
This is a quick test. There's probably not. Wait a minute. I'm an ape now. Let's see.
I am curious to see how big of a difference, if any, that will make.
Yeah.
Because it can be very useful, I'll say that much.
It's probably not gonna go.
But I was gonna say, based
that
on
much higher.
the roll.
You see it from there?
No, I'm just saying, just based. That's what's gonna determine, regardless. So.
Yeah, I think that might be true. It would have to go up an entire 5 because it landed on exactly 10. So it would have to go up by a whole like.
Okay.
Let me see.
It is
workable.
workable.
It might be. It is. Athletics is +5.
Wow.
This is a 15.
Yeah, no, I'll take that. Then, as you
Dang, that's
swing
awesome.
away, you start to see the chipping, and breaking away from the top, it actually aids in that every time you start to hit rock and you see portions crumble, while some of the rock that you've encountered thus far kind of closes in on itself and it almost seems like it's permanently compacting, this one, instead, it's weighed down so heavily that when you break away pieces, it actually falls down onto the ground very heavily and starts to crumble
Interesting.
even easier because of the massive weight that it should need
Okay.
supported. And so just starting to swing and chip away in your massive ape form, you just... And it's still going to take a long while as you're breaking down,
But I see progress.
This-
That's something
this
that's a little
wall
more
here.
encouraging than the door was.
and slowly but surely, it starts opening up to what you can eventually see is a carved out hallway of some sort. And you can tell that there is, in fact, a hidden archway here. But the hall isn't quite what you had hoped to see. In fact, it's entirely unexpected, as now you're able to finally crawl your way through the passage that you've made, and hoping to find an escape. What you instead see is a
I don't
dead
want an
end.
escape. Is it what?
A dead end. However, floating at the center of this dead end is an unusual blackened blade. with a spiraling, glowing violet that almost looks like it's gemstone crafted into the entirety of this blade.
Throw this thing away. And I walk over to the thing. Wow. It's good thing Arlyn already got his cool weapon, I guess. I want to just like look around it, and is it? Did you say it was like floating? Or
Yeah.
Is it, yeah, that's amazing.
It's floating.
Maybe this thing will be like just one thing that's like just one. Except that I'm doing all that out loud. And I go over and I put my hand on the handle.
Honestly, by the end of that breakdown of rocks, you're probably back to your normal form.
Oh man.
It would have taken a long while.
I take the rocks out of my pocket. As soon as I start to feel it, I put my hands near where I know my pockets are going to be, and I pull them out of my pockets so I don't break my whole
Incredible.
fit over here.
All right.
Man.
Then reaching out towards it.
Oh man.
Hopes and dreams in hand.
I'm scared. I feel like I'm just going to sit down.
You put your hand to it,
Do that.
and it's like holding onto a column, holding up the entirety of a royal palace. This thing is as solid as the walls around you.
Wow. Okay, so you don't mean that that it felt like I would break the room? Is that what you mean?
It just is immovable.
Oh wow. Can you describe it again?
Yeah, it's a blackened, almost not quite glassy like obsidian, but rather this kind of matte black stone with a purple, almost somewhat more crystalline vein that kind of goes spiraling throughout the blade itself. It's somewhere between, I guess, from the current viewpoint, somewhere between a short and a long sword, from what you could best tell.
This thing is awesome. I gotta give it to Calagon.
It does remind you of him.
How do I get it? What's the secret here? Maybe I really do have to kill that guy upstairs. It's the only way. All right. I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna ponder on it for 1 hour as I rest to get all my wild shapes back. And I just want to inspect it and see and the room and see if there's any. I don't know if there's energy sources or anything I could turn off or anything to release it from, and feel above and below it and see if it's actually connected to anything.
Within this room,
But for
there
the most
isn't
part,
anything
resting.
immediately, but I will say directly from the mouth of Arlyn, there is a fuel source of some sort from that crystal at the base of this entryway.
I want to drink it.
These guys are insane.
Say Rodrick is a full source.
So what I would like to do is man, I don't even know if I can pick up the sword anymore. The gorilla was a lot stronger than Cleave. 5 times stronger.
That is unfortunate.
Which is good. That's how it should be. But he's an orc too. He's a wimpy orc. So, man, I'm just tossed up here. Okay. I want to try to bottle some of the fuel source. Can I do that with like a flask situation or something?
You can certainly try, but as you watch, it seems completely unaffected by any surface going between where it should flow to.
Okay.
As though smoke going through a rag. As you place even a glass vial before it, you watch as it just goes right through.
Well. Okay, I put that away. I eat 2 of my good berries. No, I don't. 'Cause I'm sure resting. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm leaving this alone. Man. And I guess at the end of the, I'll just wait for the end of the short rest. If I don't figure anything out, if I don't glean any new information, I will just try to get stronger. I'll wait the
So
hour.
you go back to ape form and go
Yeah.
back to it?
Yeah, for sure. That's the move.
Okay.
with this time just one rock in my pocket. Is that enough that I can that I don't get as chunky?
Sure.
All right, cool.
All right. Well then, going back to it, go ahead and make one more strength check for me to determine the longevity of your stay and/or capability within.
One rock in my pocket. I will not. I will still, because I'm still doing science here. I'm testing. I'm going to absorb my armor into my body, but I'm going to keep the mace and like the little holster I would have, so that I can buckle it back on me afterwards.
Cool.
Anyways, I go over to it and I give it my best shot. Let's see, just get lifted. I pick things up and put them down. 17.
17. Okay. Then as you hold tight and you start pulling away at it, putting your feet to the wall behind it, there's this moment where it's as though you could convince yourself that it's starting to go, and yet as you tug and tug and tug and tug, it's holding up your entire body weight. And
It's like, I'm trying to grab. I'm grabbing onto it with my feet hands, and I'm grabbing onto a wall with my regular hands and trying to do a pull up sideways. Like,
Oh my
even if I everything.
it does take a good long while, but I will say, given your slow and steady method here, I was primarily just going.
I was
for
just gonna
how
play frustrated
long-
and leave. but I thought that's what you were telling me because I failed.
No,
but
no,
okay, yeah.
I said before that check. I said for the duration of
Okay,
how
alright,
long
very good,
it would
very
have you. So I did kind of ready that for you in your favor, I guess. It would take a good long while, but eventually, it does give way.
Patience is the way on these
And
things.
it's
That's the
not
one.
a nice light float like you would hope. It doesn't just kind of slowly give way to you. Instead, it just falls in full, as though a regular sword
no.
just tattering to the ground all of a sudden, and falling with your form as you now drop to the
I'm
ground,
gonna back the heck up
frustrated.
and try not to let it fall on me.
And it's just a regular sword in your hands.
It doesn't feel like super heavy.
It does not feel super heavy.
Whoa. Okay.
And with that, we'll take a quick break.
Nice.
And I guess I'll let Manny choose right now. Depending on how long you think you'll go, we can certainly try to run some stuff on your end. Otherwise, we can go straight into insight check.
Why don't we leave Insight Check when Nick comes back next week?
I do
Kill the
really
Earth
want to kind
Bastion.
of finish off each of the trials.
Let's kill off the Earth Bastion.
All right.
Let's do it.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. Love you guys. We'll see you back here in 10 with
Let's go.
Arlyn.
Yay.
Okay, welcome back, guys. So, last we left off, Cleave had gotten a good way into his trial, but not yet completed it. Instead, he ventured downward, having gained new abilities and a new item. Something that I will allow him to show off in due time. But, for now, we're going to jump back over to Arlyn. Having now chosen to take on the Earth trial that Calagon had previously faced. The stonework before you shifting as though it actually is part of the surface of the ziggurat. Unlike what you'd previously encountered, it is a little bit comforting, knowing that this isn't so out there, but rather it is something that almost looks mechanical in nature as the stone just kind of clatters and clambers up, climbing upward as this kind of, I want to call it almost like a stone portcullis, is just pulled upward, revealing this massive arid chamber. And again, it's just as described. As you now step foot inside, you can feel now the hard ground below you. And you can see as minor amount of dust just kind of kicks up with your step. As now this stone wall closes up again behind you. You see these heaps of stone before you, along with the two sandy troughs that Calagon had mentioned prior to his being thrown out of this room. With it, of course, just like in previous times, as you saw with the Aether trial, there are words etched along each area, if you will. And sure enough, you see them. Earth is strong, unmoving, and simple. You must be stronger while remaining steadfast in the sand. Guardians must be able to stay in one place to defend. Move, and you fail. Guardians must also be able to attack while guarding their post. If the golems reach the other side, you've already failed in one respect. Once this occurs, if you leave your post, you may save yourself, but you will have killed your chances of becoming something greater. Stepping in means stepping up. To guard is to destroy. Be prepared.
Guarding, something I do pretty well. You said there were little stones on the bottom, right?
There are minor stones
like
around you generally,
boulders?
but there are large boulders within those 6 divots, those bowls within the ground before you.
Cool. Well, seems self-explanatory enough, so...
Is one of the bowls still, like, partially missing or filled in or whatever?
Let's do this. And I step in. Boom.
Fantastic. Alright. Well then, just as expected from the truth that Calagon had expressed previously, you now get to experience as these once small piles instead begin to transform. And right in front of your eyes, this stone starts almost climbing on top of one another as you see them start to take shape. And towering above you, you can see these massive stone golems as now they all turn about and stepping foot to face you.
All right.
You watch as, unfortunately, they move a lot faster than what you would have expected and start on their parade.
Oh, because you rolled the wackest initiative, and Calagon rolled really good initiative.
I am holding true to those just as I did the first time.
Tragic.
And so with that, you see now their march and immediately recognize that you do not have much time overall.
Very well. Let's see. So I take out my sword, and I...
That's crazy. You actually did, for once, need the good initiative for this one.
Yep. Very helpful.
Why do you even give me your dice?
You're not David.
It's a 9.
A 9 to hit this earth elemental with
The
your
first
sword?
one. Yes.
Fantastic. It's a shock and a surprise to you that as you're moving, you go to swing on it, and the other kind of lifts its arm as it's walking, and the one behind it, almost as though mistakenly guarding the other, hits your blade just enough for the flat of your blade to instead lightly hit against the one in front as you see them start to walk again.
You have just one hit still for action, right? Like you have like the one.
Yeah.
Just making sure. I don't know where we're at.
So unless you had a bonus action or any movement you'd like to use there, they will have stepped forward one more
Definitely
time.
not movement.
Okay.
Let me see.
I did kind of preemptively move them already. That's just
No, that's fine. Obviously, they move every turn, so right after mine.
no.
True.
The smoke has finally gotten to him. As you can all hear the echoes of Rodrick Elwood suffering down below.
As I grip my sword, I'm pretty angry at that last attempt. And I'm going to close my eyes and immediately lock against that first one and abjure enemy with my channel divinity.
Okay.
So you have a wisdom saving throw of 12.
Okay. Go ahead and read it off to me.
On a failed save, the creature is frightened and has a speed of 0.
Hey, that's... If he can't move, no one else can move.
For 1 minute or until it takes damage.
Did you just stun lock all of the...
And on a success, the creature's speed is halved by 1 minute. For 1 minute.
Okay. As now... And that was a bonus action, or is that your next turn?
That's my action.
That's your action for this next turn. Perfect. Okay. As you kind of reach forward and aim to enact your will over this creature's, you get this sense that it shouldn't work. As you now send your power directly into it and channeling it further, you watch as you recognize that these are a pile of stones, and yet for some reason the life within them cannot keep from fighting your own will, as it now halts in place and just stands upright.
Bro! Let's go! Did you just get 10 free rounds of combat? Because
I did.
Is that... Wait, is there... Can they move?
Not currently.
Oh my gosh, you just got 10
Until
free
the
rounds
first
of
one is
combat.
done.
That's,
So
you
I
are
go-
the chosen one for this one.
That is crazy.
So immediately I take out my javelin and I look at the row of 4. And I'm going to aim at the last one with every single one in the way. Shooting from as far... From, like, this side here. Wait, hold on. Let me... No, what did I do?
I mean, you can't
My
move,
map.
so you kind of just have to do...
No, I know. I'm trying to, like, reach over, though.
Yeah,
I
just make
think-
sure
I
you
feel
don't
like
hit the
you can-
first one, because if it
let
takes
me-
damage, then...
No,
you
I
won't
know,
do
I
your
know, I
thing.
know, I know, I know, I know.
If it takes damage... Oh, that one over there.
Yeah, it can't take damage.
Is this showing up on the map there? No, it's not.
What's up?
I'm just doing like a little ruler tool. I was hoping it would show up for you guys.
Oh, okay, no.
But even still...
Okay, so... Is there any way that if I aim for that 4th that I can get number 2?
Not without hitting the first one.
Okay, so I'm just gonna aim for that straight line
Okay.
of these 4.
Perfect. And that's just saves on my part then.
Dexterity saving throw of 13.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead and roll your damage as you let loose on this javelin. Take it half damage for whichever succeed.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see it.
$16
16 points of damage. Okay, cool. Then looking onward at this unusual display here, it's as though you shock them not in a physical sense, but in the emotional, mental sense. As now
getting
going
depressed.
from what look to be just direct drones staring forward and taking steps, you can see as this electricity runs through each of them, that these four all now train their sights downward at you directly. As the one second in line pauses, looks at the one in front of it, and now turns to face you as well.
You're kidding. Are they all gonna attack me?
How many points of damage did you say that was?
That was 16 points of damage,
Okay.
of lightning damage,
Thought
for
so.
all four of them.
Fantastic.
Oh, but they need to complete the Mancala to be able to attack. It's part of
So-
the rules.
There's rules.
Having gone through and shocked all of these, you can tell that one of them is clearly damaged by this much more than the rest.
Oh, great.
As the second to last seems to lose its upper limbs, as it's now just facing you with its head kind of cocked, each of them slightly offset to better see you, as they now instead look to this other elemental that is frozen in place. You watch now, as described by Calagon previously, when there are stones in their way, they remove them. As the one before it grabs hold of the torso and just yanks it off to the side,
What?
tossing it, and you watch now as it starts to crumble and roll and reform
From the
in
back
the
of
bowl
mine.
to the
Okay.
back.
Okay, that's something.
And with that, it is again your turn.
Perfect.
All right, well.
Still very useful.
It is. It is. That's okay. That's okay.
Just cast.
He didn't take
abjure-
damage, though.
He did not take damage from
Speed is 0, isn't it?
the lightning, and he did no. Yeah, his speed is 0.
If you cast Abjure Enemy on the next one,
I can only do it once. Per short rest.
Dang.
And the lightning javelin also is once, right?
Once
But
per
for the lightning effect.
day, basically.
Yeah.
It's still lightning, but it's, I can't do, like, the huge
Oh,
lightning.
I thought it
bolt.
was just a regular javelin for the rest of the day.
So I can forego to do lightning damage shot.
Oh, one or the other.
not.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
and it
okay.
still comes back to my hand, I believe, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang, that's great.
That is
Yes, sir. Yeah, I can have it deal lightning or piercing damage. Choose which version.
No, that's pretty sick.
You're up. What you got?
Question,
Yes, sir.
just to make that clear. The reappearing in my hand, is it after the lightning bolt effect or every time? It says
It's after the lightning bolt effect.
so it just becomes a regular javelin now,
Essentially.
but can do lightning
It's just kind of
damage.
sparkling with energy.
Correct. And so if I throw it now, that's it.
Yeah.
So you gotta focus
For
on
sure.
the ones in front of you.
Yes.
You gotta start
All right. Very well.
some smites.
Very well. Let's do it. Time to roll with the big boys. I am going to attack number 1.
Okay. Numero uno. Let's see what we got.
Why? And roll another 4 or whatever?
or a natural 20.
Shut up.
He just rolled a natural
11?
20 by throwing my dice.
11 to hit?
You can't make
Fantastic.
this up.
And just as it was before, except this one almost seems to take note of you. As you now strike down on it, it changes its shift in the way that it's posed as it maneuvers and you can see as though with eyes in the back of its head, it just kind of steps off as its leg now pushes forward into the next.
Does
Back
the
to
last
you.
one?
Wait,
does
the last one
Oh,
stays.
you're right.
Still
Good call.
zero.
Good call.
Does it remake saves, or does this just not move for?
He's frightened for 10 minutes. Just says.
For 10 minutes?
I mean, 1 minute. Sorry,
I
1
was
minute.
like,
10 rounds.
dang.
10 rounds. 10 rounds. Let me just double check that. Yeah, nope. 1 minute or till it takes damage.
Wow.
They can never
That's
win.
busted.
I just must be pushed out or die.
Well, yeah, what it's the other ones then you gotta worry about? Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
fight,
I know.
man, fight.
Very cool. All right, keep it going.
Oh man.
Man.
Do you have any range? Because you gotta attack.
Yeah, I know.
Throw me in the front.
I
Seemed like a given on this one until.
that's
Yep.
the only range I have is just a one shot now. I'm gonna wait till he comes to me.
Cantrip. It's a range cantrip.
5 feet. Yes.
Oh, this is about to be brutal.
That's okay. I'll fight him one-on-one. Stupid punk. I'm gonna command the first one. Yeah.
Okay.
Command the first one to halt.
All right. David, would you roll for me?
T20?
Yes, sir.
Oh, golly, you're so messed up.
I want you to be included.
Why David?
This is-
Why David? Use my dice.
Poor guy's not gotten any trials today. He's not had anything.
Use my dice.
So I give him a trial in real life.
Your dice instead?
Go.
Can I use
my
his dice
dice?
instead?
Sure. It doesn't matter to me.
Use Arlyn dice.
Let's see if it's my
Yeah,
hands
so
that are
like
blessed. or the dice.
superstitious.
It's my hands.
Gosh.
I'm sorry.
So how'd he do?
Not well. Halt. Deuce.
There you have it.
Oh.
This one does not seem to play as nice as the first.
Now I can't hit the
The second
one.
in line is unfortunately
Wait,
steadfast.
It, like he rolled well. Was he rolling? for
David
the-
rolled well for the
Yeah,
goblet.
I rolled a
Yeah.
17.
Oh, okay.
Dang. All right,
God, why must
Back
I
to you,
bless these
Arlyn.
hands?
that's awesome. They are approximately 4 turns from reaching the opposite trough. And
You
the
realize
front one has 25 health still.
What, to just fight?
No.
To roll command again?
Yes.
I command the first one to halt.
You have no choice.
All right, David.
I'm going with Rodrick's dice this time.
Oh boy.
Maybe
If
it's,
not, I'm
it's
just
good
gonna
luck in
die.
in our
I'm just
case,
gonna
yeah.
die.
Okay, I'm not even gonna look.
You just gotta redefine what good luck is
failed.
right now.
It's an 8.
Okay.
Yes, dude.
It's an 8 on the dice.
Well played.
Maybe they have incredible. What kind of save is it?
Wisdom.
They have the best wisdom. Who knows? Rocks.
Henceforth, for each turn, you will be
rocks.
making an intelligence check with a -3 for the earth elemental behind that one to
Okay.
see if it decides to move it out of
Move
the
it
way
out
and
of the way?
continue
Okay.
on. All right.
Very well.
So with that, during that one's turn, David, I would like for you to roll.
-3 intelligence.
Yes, sir.
I'm not even gonna roll. I'm just gonna drop.
It's a 13.
That'll get you
7.
turned into
Okay.
a monkey in Jumanji, bro.
Sitting still.
I'm gonna unleash on the one closest to me.
Okay. Right or left?
I'm casting Hunter's Mark on number 3,
Okay.
and I am going to. Hunter's Mark works for melee too, right?
I believe so. Yeah. I don't think there's anything that says otherwise.
Weapon attack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
And I'm gonna swing my sword double-handed.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Very
Let's go.
good.
Let's go.
The sword has not been so successful thus far.
I know. We can do it.
21.
21 does in fact hit.
Let's-
As now the confusion has them stopped up in their tracks. You can see where it almost goes to start
Use all
moving,
your slots,
and
right?
instead
I'm
backs
using-
up again right into your blade.
Oh, I can't smite, can I?
Because it's the same as the slots.
Because it's
yeah.
a slot.
That's trash. I really thought you were about to smite. I was like, smite it. And then in
These
my
trials
head,
are so good.
before I even
love
said
this.
it, I was like, ah.
I would have to use.
Your life energy. Do we really have that as a,
I
as
don't
a
even
thing?
have Channel
The what?
Divinity anymore.
But when you run out of magic energy or whatever,
I have no more spells.
Is that still a Tristan rule that you can?
We never incorporated that
We
one
n-
into
we
this
haven't-
campaign
alright,
specifically.
So now I
unfortunately.
just, because
That is
I
a dope
used
one, though.
command, and I used Hunter's Mark.
Oh, you Hunter's Mark.
So you're all out. All right. Well,
Can I
you did
change
hit.
my mind instead of Hunter's Mark, use Divine Smite?
Well, you get extra
'Cause I
damage
forgot
on
that
I
damage.
would
it's
say that,
damage.
unfortunately.
Oh yeah, I get an automatic
better.
D6
This is better.
until they move.
There you go.
Why? Or you should throw some at him. You can still throw javelins. You got a bunch of javelins. It's not just the one.
Yeah. D10. Let's go.
Hit it. Literally.
And you can move Hunter's
Uh-huh.
Mark, can't you?
I can.
Psst, no, that's way better.
Hunter's Mark is nice.
That's really bad.
No. Oh, you're rolling your Hunter's Mark too? There you go.
10.
10 points of damage.
Alright,
Okay,
alright.
it's not bad as you do start lopping away stones, and it almost feels more like playing baseball than it does swinging a sword at this point. As each time you hit, you can feel the ringing in your arms, and you still have to kind of power through. And just rather than cutting through them cleanly, it's like you're just slamming them away, just hit after hit, as you watch these stones start to give way from its legs. But it is still moving slowly forward as it's trying to figure out what's happening in front of it. David, let's determine that.
Roll terribly, please.
You basically have to roll a 16 or higher.
Okay, so no, I didn't pass.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
We're good.
I won,
so
by
I'm
the
going
way.
again on the same
I
guy.
rolled a 15. Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna have to fight those two head on, FYI. Like, I have no choice.
No, you can throw javelins, like Joel said.
True.
Mark and javelins. We are.
Next
No,
attack.
I'm killing this guy with Hunter's Mark right now. At least slowing down the others. 12?
12 to hit.
Yes.
That absolutely misses. As unfortunately, in the confusion, you can see
Inspiration.
This is your moment. All right, all right, all right.
you can see where the rocks start to shift and turn
Let's see
around to
Rodrick
face you
dice.
again.
Rodrick dice.
That hits.
15.
15 to hit. Sweet. As it turns around, you can see where you clearly miss through the arm, and continuing on, you get a shot at the leg, and as it shifts to kind of balance itself back out, you watch now as going from 2 legs to the one that, as you just lopped one off, it kind of and steps right upward past your blade again, just barely.
So I missed?
Oh,
Dang. Drop inspiration. What's your plus?
David, you're up.
Huh?
What's your plus to hit?
My plus 4.
failed.
Okay,
I'm going
back
again.
to you. The excitement of
Nick, if
failure
you are
is great.
watching,
I
oh wait,
know.
hold on. What's he said? You got this, Arlyn. You rock. Don't take this challenge for granted.
Okay.
You are one of the bolder horsemen. Arlyn is struck between a rock and a hard
He's
place.
really been on it.
This is
Where have I
marvelous.
This guy's been constant apparently. That's amazing.
Nick,
Nick,
I
you are the greatest.
summoned the power of your inspiration.
You can
I
certainly
would
try.
love it.
Wow. Nick, take back your inspiration.
No, please
wait,
give
that
me
was-
your inspiration because
That's
that
awesome.
was a fail.
Yeah.
All right, well, David,
Roll that again, please.
let's see if both brothers continue to fail tonight.
Nick, give
Please
David
fail,
your
please
inspiration.
fail,
Give
please
David
fail,
your
please
inspiration.
fail.
Do it.
No,
Give
what?
David your inspiration. What? Yellow's baller.
15.
15
So
just
fail.
barely fails. As now
Roger
this
that.
first one
Let's go.
is just spinning in circles, looking to one and then the next, and then it sees the one in the back.
He said take it.
Man,
I'm
you got
taking the
his
inspiration. 16.
16? 16's the one?
16.
Swinging through
Meet it and beat it,
watching
right?
as the confusion goes,
This
these
is a speed
golems
round now.
continue to spin out as it now turns and hits dead on.
Yes!
Oh, that's good.
Good damage shoot.
17.
17
Oh wait,
points
no, sorry.
of damage?
Sorry, hold on. Not 17. It's 15.
Okay,
I did a +4 instead of +2.
fantastic. As now it turns in its
Swinging with
confusion.
both arms like a baseball.
It's spinning in the opposite direction of where you're swinging, allowing that impact to make even greater force as your blade lands against the hardened body, and you can feel the ringing of your sword as your sword hits, and instead of just bouncing back like before, kind of wedges in and slams the ground like a massive hammer as this entire thing crumbles before you.
Yes! Let's go.
And with that,
You gotta roll.
one
Right, baby.
is dead. David, your roll.
Ready, set. Yes, failed.
He failed.
Fantastic. You see now, as throughout this venture, this pile of stones that crumbles downward starts to take back the shape that it had previously been in, as now the golem in the kind of just beside that one reaches into the trough and digs up all of the stonework that was previously inlaid where that had fallen and starts lobbing it, rolling it all the way to the back again. But with that failure, none of them is going to move yet this turn. Arlyn,
I'm
back to you.
swinging.
Not bad.
No, I
That's
missed.
not
No.
enough.
14.
14
I
does
missed.
not hit.
Gosh.
David, you know the deal.
Come on, roll low. Yep, fail.
Okay. This is
I
great.
gotta
This is-
get-
You need a 12 or higher on the dice every time. Then.
Yeah.
That's
You know
pretty-
what's
that's a
scary is
high.
I've been rolling like 14, 15, but it's like I've been on the
Yeah, it's
cusp.
really really scary.
Very stressful.
Okay.
Well, that's good news too. At least that one needs
Oh,
really high.
fail.
During that last fail, though, still, the stone golems behind would start catching up as they are now starting to move
Correct,
into the
correct.
spaces before.
Please.
Go ahead.
Please.
I failed on
fail.
So much going on with you guys.
I rolled a 10.
He failed.
Fair enough. Run it.
You should stop rolling that one. Should I roll for
Maybe I should
Just,
stop.
just clanging away.
Oh, I failed
sword?
again.
Failed again. Alright.
I'm
Just
rolling
a race to see
Arlyn
who's
dice.
moving.
Ready.
I'm
Go
rolling
ahead,
Arlyn
David.
dice.
Set.
And 16. Come on.
17.
No.
Wait, is it 17 on the die?
Yeah.
And,
I'm
and you have
done.
A 14? Is that what it is? He has to be.
Yeah,
I
that
have
means
to roll
it's a 13 to, and I rolled
have
a
to roll
14.
12.
'cause it's -3.
12
Okay.
or higher.
As now the one in front, almost seeming as though it is in fact frustrated, it sees that as the body of the one is lobbed beside it, and in this quick stroke of genius, it sees now again its general orders and realizes this is just stone, and with one hand just and slams it to the side. But
Here's
that
the
is
question.
unfortunately its action.
Hang on.
Here's the
And its
question:
turn.
is it smart enough to roll it behind the small group, or is it dumb enough to roll it behind, like, last?
It would-
behind the one that's frozen.
It would roll it to the last point
That's available point.
that is available for it in
Gotcha.
order of the elementals, with one caveat being that the one all the way to the bottom left is currently filled with remains.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so it instead fills just
So
below.
it goes there. Got it.
You have to. You have to
So it goes-
range attack.
I think I need to be the bad guy rules lawyer for a second.
I failed.
The one that it threw out the way right now, that one was commanded to stop. Is that what it was?
Nice.
Command word? I think that's just one round usually.
Is command just
Wait,
one round?
really?
Oh yeah, that sounds right.
I'm not saying we got to retcon everything that just happened. I'm just saying.
Wait, really?
I'm very sorry. But
I
I
will
think
say-
it would at least start moving from here.
Fair
Is that
enough.
fair?
And luckily he was using inspiration anyway, so it's alright.
That's
I'll-
good. You used 2
I'll-
inspirations.
I'll
you
ignore-
deserve something.
Yeah, I'll ignore some stuffs.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't mind that so much.
You're right. You're
He's
right.
he's about to get rocked by these
How
things
many rounds
anyway,
have gone
I'm
so-
about
by?
to.
Sorry, I'm being super bad guy right now. But how many rounds have gone by? We've actually been speeding through them faster than
Oh
usual.
yeah, no, it's been pretty regular here, so that's good. But that's all right. Start back. Go ahead.
I failed. I'm gonna be fair and not re-roll.
Okay.
Oh man.
I failed by one.
Yeah. With that,
On your to hit.
On my
once
hit.
again, it's starting to get scary as
over,
you
bro.
see them start walking forward, one after the next. Yet one of them, shockingly behind the rest of them.
Can you move Hunter's Mark at will, or does it have to die?
And you recognize that you're running out of time
Has
now
to
before the
die.
next also starts walking.
No, if it drops to 0 hit points.
Who has Hunter's Mark right now?
Yeah, honestly,
Second
Two,
one.
Current second one, yeah.
I'm trying to think. David, how many times do you think you rolled just now? Had to be at least 6, yeah?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. And then, do you think it's up to 10?
Do I think it's up to 10
I don't
Yeah.
think you rolled 10.
total? Yeah, no, I don't think 10.
Okay.
I think 6 is a good
I
guess.
wasn't
That's a fair
tracking yet.
guess.
I'll say that we will detract. You know, let's subtract 1d4 from however many rounds from 10. So roll a d4, and I'm just gonna settle it that way. 4. So
Good.
okay,
I felt
then
like it
yeah,
was
6 turns.
That's good. All right.
All right. Fantastic. Then
have been
Arlyn,
upset.
you're up.
I
That's a
hit.
hit.
Okay.
So 13 plus 4.
All right.
This is on just like a regular
Just-
sword swing.
yeah,
for the
just
next
sword
one.
swings,
Yep.
just going back and forth on these suckers.
And I'm going to hit, obviously, the only one I can hit.
I will ask you to
Or
specify
actually-
in this moment. You would
actually-
have gotten the chance to move your hunter's mark. I will allow it at
You
this
sure?
moment.
No.
It's
Once
The
when it
first one,
hits
when the
0
first one
hit
died,
points.
yes.
Oh, was that the one that was hunter's marked?
Yeah.
The second one.
So now move to the second one, but the second one it is stuck on.
Okay.
It's got to hit
All right.
0 HP first.
Dang. Okay. All right, fair
That's
enough.
okay. I'm actually going to hit him with the javelin. Same guy.
Oh, you're throwing
The hunter's mark.
To the 1st one.
I'm going to throw it. To
Okay.
my,
Second, the one that's
the one that's hunter's mark.
That's
So
the one
number
that's
2.
now first in line overall, though, isn't it?
No, number 2.
Is that number
Yeah.
2? Okay.
Yeah.
Because he was 3, and then number 2 through the frozen guy.
Number 2.
Fair enough, then.
Okay, so that would be a 2d6. Oh, no. Wait, I hit it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 2d6. Eight
8 points of damage.
points of damage.
Fantastic. Okay. And as it now kind of stabs in, you can see where this thing turns to kind of pull this javelin from its back. And as it does, it pulls this javelin and drops it to the ground as now its arm falls with the javelin. And you can see where it's cracked and barely moving and clearly falling apart as it's shifting. Yet, on its last leg, proceeds to move.
Any range stuff?
That's one of 4 turns you get before that last one moves.
Well, I do have my old javelin.
Okay.
I suppose. I'll throw the same one.
Did you... You gave one javelin to Calagon, I believe.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I did. I gave him the old javelin.
Do you have anything that can hit any of these golems currently? I didn't realize these are not all named in the same way. Hilarious. Whoops. Ignore that minor detail.
I was wondering.
They are all the same.
Okay.
It's funny because I read 2 of them earlier and they were accurate and it just happened to be the right ones. Whoops. Oh.
Nope.
There's nothing you can do currently? You can throw things for the record that aren't, typically thrown. It'll just be a disadvantage.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw longsword.
I'm just gonna throw a long
My
sword
extra
at it.
longsword.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
At the same guy.
I'm in. Okay. Let's see. It would be limited in range to some extent.
I'm literally like spearing it.
Okay. I believe improvised weapons are a little bit harder, and given the weight, I would say you'd probably be, because certain ranges are only 20 to 60. being that it's an improvised weapon and it would already be at disadvantage, I'll say you'd probably have a good 20-foot range on this one, which would only be the first 2 closest to you currently.
All right, then I'm gonna hit number 3.
Number 3? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, roll to hit at disadvantage then. Let's see what happens.
Failed. Doesn't matter. Yep.
Fair enough. Okay.
Next. I'm switching dice.
Then unfortunately, as the parade continues on, the earthen march is not to a rhythm that you enjoy, and it begins making you miss
Oh wait, that's not even.
the beautiful sounds of Rodrick Elwood, as instead they get closer and closer to their goal.
I'm gonna try this one.
All right,
Oh no!
you're up.
I'm gonna have to fight
turns.
3 of these head on.
At least you're a little equipped for that particular thing too.
Yeah.
Let's just
Yeah.
stay
Kind of
positive,
where
stay
my
positive.
strengths lie.
Well, they're just gonna shove
Or
you
they're
through the
really
wall.
strong. They're just gonna shove me.
Yeah.
But he has a way higher strength than Calagon.
Does he have a way higher strength than a
And
stone
I-
golem?
Fail.
Yeah, better odds, better odds.
Okay,
Way higher AC too. If that's
then
Wow, that means
As they
Calagon
continue on.
can't run this. And Cleave, you're still in Aether.
I've been there forever. I've been taking hours
I can't
on
run this
everything
back.
that I do. I'll probably be in there like a
Continues on.
week in your time.
okay,
So I go again.
go for it.
Failed. What?
Okay.
Or beyond them.
Then
There's
unfortunately,
nothing I can do. Now I just wait to die.
as they step forward,
This is so painful.
everything that you had feared from what Calagon had previously brought to you begins to take form
You
as
didn't
this
realize
golem
how limited in range I am.
begins to truck forward,
Come at me, bro.
making it halfway up before taking pause, but still clearly in motion to continue on. It is your turn.
I think I was expecting also for you to be able to. I forgot that initiative was a thing. I was expecting you to be able to hit the lightning javelin in the first row of all 6 of them. That would have made a big difference too.
Yep,
Yeah.
that would have been very helpful.
Yep. I mean, what else can I?
Also,
I can't,
didn't
there's nothing I
expect
can do.
him to miss like 7
A
times
lot,
in a row.
yeah, man.
Yeah, well,
Oh.
thanks.
No, because you had literally you have a
That's
higher
normal for
to
me.
hit than yeah, definitely than Cleave.
All right. There's nothing I can do till anything comes in range. So
Okay.
go for it,
You,
Tristan.
you can't buff yourself. You don't have any.
I don't have spells.
There's nothing. You don't have anything.
You
that
don't have
can-
any potions.
No.
Do you have any
have a
actions you'd
potion
like
of
to ready
shrinking. How
or
about that?
otherwise? Because there's a few actions you can still take.
No, that'll make him so movable though.
Nick goes, Arlyn hit rock bottom.
This guy's on a roll.
I hate you, Nick.
All right.
Nick's just trying to get another inspiration to give it to Arlyn.
For sure, he's killing it. All right, so there are a few different things that you can do as actions in the interim in this moment. You can hold an action, which could be any number of things. It could be an
You're
attack.
right.
It could be doing something
Yeah, you're
else.
right, you're
you
right.
could take the dodge action if you'd like. You can.
You know what? I'm gonna take the dodge action right now.
Already?
Yes. I'm taking the dodge action because he's gonna come and
You
try to
don't have
shove
anything
me
to throw,
in
right?
his turn,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna attack him. So shove. I mean, dodge.
Okay, and this is the one I believe you have hunters marked, correct?
No.
No.
No?
The
Dang
next
it.
one.
The next one is. Alright. Oh, the one that's like at nothing. Okay. Cool. Then as this now runs forward, kind of prepping yourself,
I go.
you stand there.
I grab
ready,
my shield and I hold it to me.
and it comes just shy of where you're at before you can see this sweeping motion of its arm dragging, and it's as though they're connected by energy in some way beyond what you can feasibly see with the human eye, and it's almost like it goes bowling with its own arm as this final rocky appendage starts to roll on the ground with it as its form just lifts and sends it flying your way. And with that, it's going to be... Still pretty good. Is that what I was rolling? It's not horrible, but... Golly. Yeah, that's an 18 to hit.
18 to hit? Well, what if I took the dodge action?
Yeah, it's an 18 to hit.
Oh, 18 hits.
Okay.
What does the dodge action do then?
It had disadvantage on its attack to hit you. The other one was much higher.
Ah. Well, yeah, that hits. That's his disadvantage, guys.
Yikes. Alright. Then that's going to be 14 bludgeoning damage.
14? I'll take that.
And it's unfortunately not done, as now there is a follow-up of a second smaller, what was almost the elbow, flying your way and coming straight at your stomach there. With a 13... Oh, I'm sorry. Forgive me. Yeah, no. It's going to be a 13 to hit on that one.
13 to hit, that misses.
Okay, cool.
All right, I'm
As it now kind of
pissed,
rolls
bro.
just past you, you can see where it's kind of leaned forward a little bit, and it almost shouldn't be in range, but its arm, you can see now, is extended, and these portions of boulders are just kind of rolling back past you. Your turn.
I'm pissed. I'm pissed. So, I'm immediately going to Storm's Wrath.
Okay.
And I'm putting my hands on him, and I'm gonna start releasing damage until I kill it.
Heal that guy to death, bro. Let's go.
How much do you have? That's the question.
Well, the question is, I have 15. Is that enough to kill it?
There's only one way to find that out.
He's making
Dang, are
me
you not able to
waste
do it
it
like
all.
that? You're not able to like.
Not unless you're gonna go turn by turn.
Well, because like no, if you healed somebody, you would never use up 15, and then they just like once it gets a cap, it just stops.
There's a
It
few
would
factors
stop
here.
when it's done.
A, he's getting attacked by a golem. B, it's not healing. And C, it is a corrupted power that is not his own and not fully in his own control.
Yeah.
That is for you to decide the number, Manny.
I don't feel like I've hit this guy.
He's looking pretty hefty.
Like,
You have
thick boy.
hit him. He's not low.
Drop it all, man.
I'm doing an automatic 15 damage.
15 points of damage. Fantastic. Okay. As you do so, shocking it, you can see where the arms start to fall apart, and what was rolling its way, you kind of drag your hand back into on the last second, and you see as those arms kind of stumble back, and where its limbs were, you can see that it's just kind of flopped out sideways and is now just kind of swinging its body. And from behind it, you watch now as another steps forward into that trough,
Lovely.
and the rest continue to move.
Oh boy.
And it is now its turn.
I'm gonna
As
step up my haterism once more. I feel like the last guy's probably moving now.
yeah, I moved him.
Oh,
Just
you
now.
did? Alright.
Without limbs, looking down at you, you can see as this golem just takes one step forward, and without changing expression, it's hard to tell whether or not there's any feeling behind the action. But it's easy to imagine that it could be selfless. There could be a smirk to it behind that gentle crumbling exterior facade. But either way, all you do see quite well is the massive torso begin to just fall your way, as it now instead drops its body weight directly at you mid-run.
It's gonna battering ram, dude.
I would like for you to make a strength saving throw for me.
Are you proficient in those?
Nope.
No.
better than me.
He's got a good strength, though. Yeah, he's got a good strength.
Yes!
21.
21!
Except versus his strength.
Okay.
It's good, though. It's really good.
Which way would you like to push this off of you?
Maybe a DC.
Yes!
To the left.
To your left? Cool.
To
All
the
right.
left, to the
Then-
left.
You watch now as this thing falls and dropping down onto you. It's clearly off balance to some extent with all of the damage it has taken thus far. And as it falls towards you, you can see where its form reveals now the one behind it. Also full sprint coming your direction. And as it sprints forward, the other drops beside you, and you can see now where its legs start to shift underneath it so as to get it back up onto its feet. However, before that occurs, it is your turn.
Huh?
It's prone.
Oh, I'm attacking
Murder
the
that
heck out of it. I am one-hand swinging. One-handed swinging, because I'm not letting go of this shield.
Oh, yeah. Prone.
You have
So you got
advantage. You have advantage because it's
Go,
prone.
go, 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 go,
I
go on.
just... My hands suck.
Let's hope this one's
David,
better.
why don't you roll for
Give
me,
him
David?
guidance.
David, roll for me. David, roll for me.
Bardic inspiration.
It only
life.
works for Rodrick and opposing.
Failed. Wow. Wow.
This is rough, man.
Failed again.
What's happening?
Oh, and now I hit a nat 20. All right.
For all of the inspiration that
Maybe it's...
this has taken up, you see now as these legs
Arlyn
start to
just
dig
sucks.
into the sand below,
It's like the opposite of what happened to Rodrick in his match.
and once more
The lowest rolls ever.
rising to its feet as the other one also coming over to
Lovely.
you.
I'm dead, guys.
Hey, man, that was a great...
No, I can't.
Do you have any bonus actions or movement you'd like to use on your turn there?
Reaction? Any reactions?
Any reactions? Anything there?
Nope.
Cool. Go ahead and
I think you can eat good berries as a bonus action if that meant.
No. I have to leave my post if I have to want to do anything.
make a strength saving throw for me then.
It landed in his slides.
my slide. 13.
13.
We're done. Can't pass the ziggurat.
No, I mean,
guys.
like, Tristan just rolled a 1, dude.
As now one of these stone golems comes your way, you see out of the corner of your eye the other starting to fall atop you. And as they swing, you can see now the arm of one coming your way. Does a 13 hit?
Nope.
Okay. Then as the one topples, you can see where its form starts to fall and the other one coming in with a second strike. Again,
Lovely.
you see it now from both ways as it almost seems inevitable that one of them is going to send you flying. Please make one more strength check for me.
Saving throw or strength check?
Saving throw, forgive me.
16.
16. Okay. Then, for the time being, I don't imagine there's any way for you to counter a 27 to hit.
No. Not at all. Thank you, Tristan, for
Just
that.
making sure.
Thank you for the sarcasm, bro.
Making sure.
What even is this on a 1v1 against 6 of them?
Okay. As now these things start falling at you, you're able to slowly kind of press your weight against the other and start sliding it out. As now the first one missing with the larger of its 2-shot limb attack, the smaller boulder comes flying your way, sending directly into your gut with 10 points of bludgeoning damage. But
Wow.
keeping
Death's
you
Door.
where you're at.
That's alright. I'm gonna die.
You have cure wounds.
No, I don't.
Well, he doesn't have any more.
Oh my goodness.
But it's your turn.
There is no way I'm winning this.
Escape.
Don't give
that
up
what you're
now.
What do you mean don't give up now? Either die or get pushed out and lose my javelin? I'm walking.
Oh, the javelin didn't even
I'm walking.
come back.
No, do the thing where you turn into a lightning bolt.
Actually, yes, I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna go directly to where the lightning javelin is.
Okay. So the lightning javelin would be very far from where you're at currently.
How far? I shot it at the guy.
I was gonna say, how long is the line? Because I believe it should probably be at the wall at the other side, which is
30 feet? No, 30 to 120.
Well, no, but he this time he threw it as a regular
No, I
javelin.
threw it
threw
as a regular javelin.
oh, and that was about halfway through. So it's about 30 feet to your right, probably. Then yeah. No.
It was,
Right.
yeah, about 30 feet, I would say.
Okay.
It was
So you're just
about
gonna-
where that golem is right now.
Turn to lightning and
Yep.
head through that.
And grabbing the javelin.
Okay. Then as you start to spark with electricity, you can feel the power start to surge around you again. And just seeing black for a moment, everything kind of blurs in your vision in this kind of darkened mass as though light turns to darkness in this moment. And reappearing on the other end, you see now a toppling of rocks all around you as all of these golems fall to the floor. And the door opens once more
Behind him.
behind you.
I'm not dying here. I'm not dying here. And I grab my javelin. I turn off form. And I just walk up. Defeated. Completely defeated.
I thought for sure you had that one.
Like, that wasn't even, like, fair.
That was the rolls. The rolls weren't there.
Cleave,
That
I'm gonna
was
jump back to you for
Cleave does more napping.
That was
and crying.
embarrassing,
He's just.
bro.
if there's anything that
That
you
was
would like.
No
That was
napping on my end.
Yeah, no, Cleave's having a very different time. Well, no, actually, he's having a rough time too. But
Is there anything
That
that
was
you'd
so
like to
rough,
do
dude.
after gaining this sword?
oh man, I'm still in ape form, right?
And stuff.
Literally
I'm
can't
gonna.
pass this. The only option is for Cleave to fail. Well, no, not even.
You noticed.
There's zero way for us to pass the zero.
Do go on. Go ahead, Cleave.
Zero way.
No, you can be one champion, right? If I just have to make it, or not
yeah,
die.
unless one person passes two of them.
Yeah, you can do that. It's just not as like, yeah, it's not as flavorfully fun as it would have been if we all got one. But I'm still giving this sword to Calagon, so that's what matters. So, and then he won't be able to use it. He'll give it to probably you. All right. So let me zoom in here and take a look at what I'm doing. Okay, yeah. So I just want to make my way back out and into the main area here
Okay. Yeah, for
with
sure.
it. And I'm
That
still
would
an ape, so I'm just going to.
the rock one.
Having this ability will be dope in the rock one. If I'm still able to become like heavy or whatever, or light, or
Not even
make stuff
that,
heavy, or
just
I don't know what it is.
The immovable sword.
Oh yeah,
Right in front of him. That's
it's
it.
true. Yeah, this is like the prerequisite. This should just be done first.
Oh, I'm mad. Sorry, keep going. I'm
All
sorry.
right. So I guess I'll just. This time so yeah, I became an ape with one stone in my pocket. I think that's good enough. I'll just carry the sword on like my foot hand or something, or strap it on with my
Okay.
with my mace just like into my belt, and I'm just gonna start. Oh, I'm an ape. It's fine. I'm just gonna jump up and try to climb up. See if I can
Okay.
get back upstairs.
Yeah, there are no stairs here. It's just a river of
Upstairs,
plasma
but yeah.
that is just flowing and
Oh,
crushing
there's nothing to
eternally.
climb either.
No, it's just a wall of. There is a wall that is like shifting rock that's constantly getting destroyed and recreated, and whatnot.
Okay,
But
okay.
yeah, you're just looking at a river of death above you.
Try to use whatever ape skills I have. Try to jump up and try to climb, shoot myself up.
Make an intelligence check at advantage.
good because I have a -1 intelligence, and that was a 10 first, and then an 11. So now it's a 10.
That's plenty to note that Arlyn did tell you about this part already, and that there is a way to avoid getting crushed to death as you go back up. And it's just that crystal is the fuel source for the river.
I have no idea what that means at all. How is that? How is that?
Above.
Did you do that? You did something with the crystal? I thought you just destroyed
the
it.
heck out of it.
Yeah,
I thought it never
destroyed the
did
crystal
do anything. I
and-
thought he was just like.
No, it just turned off.
Oh, I thought I remember him specifically being like, yeah, you broke the
That's
crystal.
very
I
helpful.
Okay.
That's why I was like,
It
I
was
mean, listen,
very
if you
valid.
just roll poor enough, then like, yeah, you could just take the heat. But otherwise, like, you definitely just had that conversation as Cleave.
Okay,
so
no,
I'm
no,
like,
no. Then
I'm not just
I
gonna
will,
let you just die for no reason either.
I completely misunderstood that as Joel, so yeah, good. Cleave got it. Yeah, then I'm gonna take the and this sword feels kind of regular in my hands. It's not
Yeah,
like
for
super
sure.
heavy? All right, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna just smash the crystal.
Cool, yeah. And
Just
just
like
chipping away.
my boy told
You
me.
start beating away until eventually you watch as it starts to crumble and the energy seems to dissipate, and you watch as the last of it flows upward. And as you look onward, it starts to thin out, and you can now see the floating mass above you looking downward.
Oh, the elementals just looking at me.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
You can see its arm outstretched to the side, pulling more and more mass towards it.
oh boy, now I want to sprint. I'm just trying to get up
Okay.
here.
With your climbing speed and your jump, it only takes about 30 speed for you to get to the very top with relative ease.
Nope.
And so, scaling back up to where you previously were.
Well, now I'm gonna finally
anything
get to
else you'd
business.
like to do?
I'm gonna get right to the fight this time. Now that I've at least prepared myself,
Okay.
and I feel like I think I have everything I need, he's gonna get it. Yeah.
He's gonna go Donkey Kong on this thing.
Donkey Kong with like the smash like swords.
Yeah.
Okay. And what would you like to do?
All right. Let's see. So I climbed up. Let me see. Oh gosh, it keeps getting so small. This is such a big map.
Oh, what the heck?
Humongous.
Sorry.
All right. It's just floating in the middle there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just floating over this river.
So I'm like a little floaty, but I can't do that, right? I can't just like float
No,
over
yeah, not
the
like that.
river.
It's
Man.
floating probably about 10 feet up from the point.
I gave myself something that I could have prepped, but I had to have been Cleave to do it first. So I'm just gonna run around here this way and then
You
dive
did use
in.
your movement already.
Oh, I did use my movement already.
Unless you want to dash.
Is this the side that I came from? When I climb back up, I'm on the same side I
Realistically,
was
you
standing
could
on?
you could choose whichever side you'd like to have climbed.
I would like to arrive where I came from because I would have definitely left the
Okay,
rock.
yeah.
Which, by the way, how heavy was
That's
that
right
when I came in? Was it still as heavy as it felt when I first walked through?
As
The rock he gave me.
the rock he gave you. There's a constant pull from that rock to the elemental.
Oh, so maybe it's not there anymore.
What do you mean?
When I arrive back upstairs, it's been 3 hours. Is that rock still there where I left it?
Oh, you left that one downstairs, you're saying?
I left it upstairs. No, I would never have.
upstairs? Yeah, no, that's gone.
Yeah. Okay. Ah, tragic. All right, then I take the rock that's in my pocket. I just want to give it. I want to say a baseball swing, but apes do like the lob. I give them.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to hit at advantage for me.
Let's go. Good, thank you for advantage. Both were horrible. Why is it so bad?
Oh my goodness.
Oh man. Am I proficient at throwing rocks?
Nope.
That's a 6.
A 6. Nice. All right. Cool. Well, luckily, it doesn't do that much better.
What was that?
You see, as now it starts to pull mass from all around it, and it pulls it into one massive chunk of rock that it now flings your way with an 11 to hit.
Oh gosh, I'm not wearing my armor. I'm an ape. I don't know what they are. Oh no, they're great armor class.
That's
Oh wait,
fantastic.
no, that's not. Never mind. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong number.
Dang.
But an 11 still doesn't hit it.
Nice.
Just barely.
Then go ahead and still make a strength saving throw for me.
Okay.
This should be
This one I can do
hardcore.
better. Yeah, right.
What is it, like +7? It's an ape.
I don't have saving throws, but I do have good strength. 15.
15, nice. Yeah, you can feel the knockback as some of the rock kind of flings your way and then hits against your arm, but yet it's not enough to push you back as you kind of stand firm. And the elemental
Get ready. Get
starts
ready.
shifting slightly further back away from you.
Oh, and it's gonna start
Still 10 feet above.
sniping me. Nah, bro. I gotta
the ground there.
I gotta get out of here.
You're up.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna run around here and try to jump from. All right. Let's get the measuring tool. Oh gosh. Okay. So it takes about 25 feet, excuse me, to get to right here. Wait, how fast is an ape? I keep forgetting. I got all these magical. It's still 30. All right, so here's the dilemma we're looking at in terms of how a turn works. I think that's like a little more than a 5-foot jump,
And this is factual.
but I only have 5 more feet of movement for this turn. I can jump more than 5 feet. I just wouldn't, timing-wise, I guess, make it. How does that work?
You can jump your movement speed currently. So it is part of your movement effectively. And you can choose how much of your energy
Oh.
you want to choose to
Oh, so yeah, and I would have
to
felt that
launch
much.
then.
Well, hold on. Let's try that from here then. Oh, psh, a breeze. Yeah, I could just jump. I'm gonna try to just jump straight onto the thing.
Onto the elemental, you're saying?
No. Oh, yeah, I can do that. Yeah. Way better idea.
Oh.
Wait. Let me make an intelligence check for that one. I'm not gonna. You gave me the idea. What do we call? Want to call that? I'm gonna call it a 12. Let's see. With my minus. That's a 6. Nah, I try to jump onto that little rock in the middle first.
Okay. Yeah.
Land there.
Did you just roll for ape brain?
That was great. Yeah.
That's basically what Cleave has.
It does work, luckily. It's a little terrifying
I'm like,
as it's moving and it is going crazy, but it's almost as though you're pulled to it in the moment that you start to kind of glide over to it very slowly.
And then I want to look over to the cliff that's actually closer to where I was than where I am and go with my foot. And then
Disgusting.
and then I want to jump the additional 5 feet to just get onto the ledge right here.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Well, that's just movement. So now I want to throw something else at it. I'm going to throw...
If you don't have any throwables, monkeys always have a throwable.
No way.
He unfortunately has not eaten his good berries yet.
I want to
Good
throw...
old guys. No stopping them.
I want to throw a pot at it. From my cook's kit.
Okay.
Pot. More just lobbing stuff. I want to get this desperately.
Roll a
stuff.
pot.
Oh wait, no, I'm so sorry. I don't have my backpack on because I'm the ape. No, I'm not gonna do
that's a
that.
good
I don't
point.
have basically anything then. Are there any rocks on the ground?
None that are not being pulled to the elemental and none directly around you currently.
Then I'm gonna go like this, and that's it. That's
Wait.
my turn. I'm gonna use the dodge action. Maybe I'll do that.
I know it was a joke, but
Okay.
I can't do that.
Dodge action it is. As now it's going to swing again. And I would like for you again to make a strength saving throw.
Can I have advantage because it's a dodge action, or is
That
that
would
not how
be
that works?
dexterity.
Okay. But I'm bracing myself. I don't know. It could be. Because this is a
Moving
2, so
light on your
I would
toes.
really like the advantage.
do you have inspiration?
Sure you would.
That's a total of 5.
5. Okay. This creature is not the same as Cleave in his ape form, as now you can feel where it goes to hit you, but it always seems to have a certain direction in mind as it now swings out, and you can see that it flings this rock at you from right to left, coming and hitting on your left side, pushing you once more
Oh, the
back
other way. Okay.
outward and over this ravine. But as you float down now, gently, you don't take the damage that you would have previously.
And my arms are so long.
and
catch
you're just
myself?
falling now until you hit the ground, all the way back.
All the way to the bottom.
At the bottom
Oh my
again.
goodness.
Does he take fall damage?
No.
Amazing. I'm just. And then I'm gonna just start making my way back up.
Okay, yeah, I mean, it only takes your movement right there. So you're right back to where you started on that point.
All right, then I want the Obi-Wan high ground. I'm gonna jump up and King of the Hill myself over here.
Sweet.
And once again, just like, and that's my turn. I dashed, so I did something.
You intrigued me. All right. Then it's going to start flying closer towards your direction, but higher in the air. As it is now
Oh,
a
sorry.
good...
Could I also? My goal here in getting above it partially was to help myself for if it's trying to throw stuff at me. I wanted to take cover, so I would have liked to go prone. I would have laid down.
Okay. Yeah, sure thing. It's still going to be attacking, obviously.
He can
With an
fly.
18 to hit.
But but it has disadvantage if I'm prone.
Correct.
Right? Okay, still 18 to hit. Shoo, that hits me, man. With my 12.
That makes a lot of
Gorilla AC.
sense.
Yikes.
As this thing is not a chump. And you recognize that from taking this massive rock to the spine. As unfortunately, it's not fully intact in the way that some of these stones are, but rather you recognize that these ones that it's been throwing your way are intended to kind of explode on impact, if you will. It's going to be 11 points of bludgeoning damage. I'm sorry, of force damage,
Ooh.
actually.
Okay.
And then you'll still need to make your strength saving throw.
I currently have. The gorilla looks hurt.
Okay.
And then I will do my strength saving throw, which is 6.
6. Cool. Then, as this impacts, you can feel where it normally would have done so much more, yet something about your form seems to be resisting this rocky push. Yet it still pushes you all the way to the doorway here, as it's now just continually slamming and pelting you with stones of force. You're back up.
Man. I have a moment of fear and doubt, actually. Really coin flip. Get out. Alright. Heads, I'm brave. Tails, plunk. Which one is this? That's heads. Alright. Alright, I stayed. Okay, what is the... That's 30? Yeah, buddy. I just get up and I slam my... Oh, it takes half my movement just to get up. Doggone.
Nice. Also, this thing is 30 feet in the air currently.
You know? Okay, then maybe it's prudent. Then it doesn't matter about bravery. I am going to drop the form of the ape. And then I am going to... And then I will cast Jump on myself. Which... This does about what it sounds like it does.
Okay.
You touch a creature, poke myself in the forehead, and the creature's jump distance is tripled until the spell ends. And then I will become a tiger. That's what I would like to do.
Alrighty. Any equipment on hand?
No, that doesn't make any sense. I will have no hands, so I will leave everything out, except for one good berry, actually, that I just leave on the ground in front of me. If I want to come back.
Fantastic.
And then I will just dive at this thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So now I've got 50 movement speed, and I'm a creature that ordinarily would be able to jump into a second-story window. And I would like to triple that movement situation.
Yeah.
And dive at him.
Fair enough. As you now pounce on this Aether elemental,
Yeah.
are you able to still make an attack in that?
No. I just want to get to him.
You're just
I
trying
wanna
to
be up
jump
in his face.
to him.
I'm assuming I don't follow that. Is that the case? Like if I'm using upward momentum like that, or should I wait till next?
You're
turn
still
for this?
falling
I can
enough
wait.
to
I can
hit
wait.
the ground,
No,
essentially.
no, I'll wait
but-
then. I'll wait. I'll jump my next turn.
Okay.
I'll just kind of gear up.
Alright, easy enough then. Then, yeah, one more time coming your way.
I'll move a little closer. Excuse me. That way, if he runs away, I at least have a
Going
chance.
to be a 22 to hit.
22 to hit. Goodness gracious, that's almost definitely gonna hit. Let me just double check. What? Yeah. No, that's definitely gonna hit. There's no
Okay.
way that isn't it.
Then that is 15 points of force damage. But a tiger has 30 apparently. So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And you're up.
Still nuts though.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Strength check.
37.
Strength saving throw.
Crushing it.
El Tigre strength, please.
Okay, it's gonna be another. How does this work? How do you do the math? Oh, I'll figure it out in a second. I got it. All right, strength saving throw. Okay. 13.
13. Okay. Then flying back against this wall, you do still take an additional 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
Wait, hold on. I said I moved closer to him though. Do I still hit the wall?
How much closer would you have gone?
I wanted to just get, because I couldn't jump to him, but I didn't want him to run away. I just wanted to get up to like.
Been a lot of changes in the middle of the
I said that
combats.
before. Hold on, I did say that.
Okay. Let's see. That's plenty far at this point, I'll say. So that's fine. But the first one did hit you, right?
Yeah. it still hit
Okay,
me.
yeah. Then you're still gonna take the bludgeoning damage regardless, because it's just
Okay.
gonna be against the ground instead,
Okay.
as it's just smushing
I still just
you.
want to go far from him, so that's good. That's good. Minus another 4. Okay. The tiger is now looking rough.
That makes a lot of sense. Tiger
Sheesh,
versus
man.
Ether
In
Elemental
fact,
doesn't sound like a great matchup.
It's looking me out.
Wait, it's looking.
What is that?
Oh, rough, because rough is dogs. Okay, there we go.
Ha 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 ha. I'm here all week.
Joel, please take your turn so I can forget what just happened.
All right, now I want to dive at it, and I want to do all the attacking.
Okay. Please do.
All right, so I'm jumping up in the air. Wait a second.
Okay.
All right, so how does this work? So I don't know if I'll have to move back a little bit, but it says for the pounce move, if the tiger moves at least 20 feet straight toward a creature. No, that's still what's happening here.
Yep, for sure.
And then hits it with a claw attack on the same turn. The target must succeed on a DC 13 strength saving throw or be knocked prone. I don't know if that's the thing that can happen here. I was just reading as I go. If the target is prone, then it can make a bite attack against it as a bonus action.
Wow. Okay.
In any case,
this thing now starts pouring in more and more matter for it to use as its weapons, you can tell that its form is actually enlarging with each shift. And every time it goes to throw another weapon your way, it's actually dispersing some of the material, but still getting slightly bigger. And as you send out, you can feel as now the rocks all start sending in closer and closer towards it. And as you pounce its way, it's as though you can now feel that same gravitational pull directly towards the elemental. As you get closer and closer, go ahead and roll to attack at advantage.
I don't even need advantage, bruh. That's a natural 20.
Okay, that is a hit.
Let's go.
Okay. All right. We're back in
How
it,
much
guys.
damage
We
are
got
we
the rolls on
rocking
our
here?
side a little bit. All right. That's gonna be 1d10. I'm on it right now, bro. This is a 10. Double to 20 plus 3. 23.
Okay. Do you have any more attacks this turn?
Only if I'm able to knock it prone. I don't know what that would mean.
You are able to knock it prone
Let's
as
go.
your entire mass now drops down onto this thing, and you can feel the weight below you as it now just and you can see this disbursement of stone everywhere, and where the mask is, you can tell that there's still some pushback against you, but largely it's just a mask looking up at you, and you can see these particles now floating closer and closer towards you and pulling you closer into its form. Go ahead and make your attack.
Good. It's gonna be. I'm gonna go right into that with a bite. I'm gonna come right below the mask at whatever would be its neck. Okay, very good. First one was good to see. 18 to hit.
18 does in fact hit.
Let's go. All right.
This is a
hit.
brutal tiger attack.
Yeah, that's wild.
It wasn't a perfect 8, but let's see. Well, it comes out to 8. So 8.
8 points of damage.
Slashing damage. Wait.
Piercing
damage.
Yeah. Okay. Tearing away at this thing, pressing your weight down now onto this mask. You kind of like dig your teeth up underneath and start yanking away at different stones, and as though you should feel something where you do see this kind of interconnected form, you recognize that there's no actual mass to whatever you're grabbing at, and start to kind of peel away at it regardless, spitting out different stones and what almost feel like fragments of metal within. And as you do so, you can feel the pushback as some of it's now kind of pulling back to try to create a form, and as you do so, you just... And with one final tear, you can feel as the mask just...
No!
Let's go!
Way!
No.
Oh shoot! That thing went down. That first hit was great. The crit was what did that.
The crit saved this.
And now, at your feet,
That's awesome.
your massive tiger feet, is the face of what almost looks like an insect.
Ew.
Just
I bit that
perfectly
thing.
staring at nothing now. No eyes behind it, no light. Just a mask and scattered rock.
That's beautiful. I want to pick up the mask with my little tiger hands, my giant tiger. I'm gonna try to like claw at it. Cats can kind of do that. They have a little bit of hand ability.
A little bit.
And just try to. I want to flip it. You know the thing? Yeah. Exactly. Like where they just.
He starts playing with it on the floor.
The natural instinct kicks in. You watch he launches it off the edge.
No! Yes, dude.
I really
It
want
breaks. He just hears it shatter.
Shatters the mask. Get
He
out.
unfortunately did not pass his animal intelligence checks. Nor did he pass this trial now all of a sudden.
Gosh.
Nah.
Yeah, I want to flip it so that the part you would put your face on is facing upward, and I want to just like mush my tiger face into it and see what happens.
Unlike other items that you've heard of, at the very least, it does not seem to change form, as it now just presses into your large tiger nose and then eye.
I drop one.
We finally got another one. I hope you're doing as well as I am, Arlyn.
I'm gonna pick it up and put it to. You know, I genuinely, in real life, forgot that you weren't still in the middle of it. that was what that moment was.
Yeah.
And I put the
genuine.
mask to my face.
Okay. As you do so, you feel now that this power starts to surge around you, and you can feel that the mask almost starts to spread, and you can now, no sound, but feel these almost plates now coming down your neck and starting to continue down your shoulders and arms, as now this blackened exoskeleton begins to form around your body, and you can feel this kind of lighter mass similar to what you had before, except your strength now seems far greater.
Oh shoot! Let's go.
And you can tell that there is something about this form that is clearly inhuman in nature, and yet you immediately recognize most similar that it could possibly be as you look to your own form. And you now have the mask of the ant.
Of the ant? Heck yeah!
Which,
Nice.
funny enough, I was trying to come up with creatures for each of these masks. And I was like, what in the world could I use for Aether? What would actually make sense? What doesn't take fall damage, can lift way more than it possibly actually should? What can take a beating and seems to have like some sort of damage reduction beyond what it actually would make sense? And sure enough, freaking ants are gravity creatures, guys. That's all I'm saying.
You know what's actually sick? As
They
long as you're doing
climb
trivia right now,
walls.
I'm gonna jump in with you.
Ridiculous.
In the first ever superhero comic book at all, period, ever, which is Action Comics #1, Superman, they to try to introduce people to the concept of what a superhero is, they were trying to like explain like Superman beforehand, and they were just comparing him to ants. They're just like, so there's things in nature that can really do amazing things. Like an ant can lift this much or whatever, and so like they were trying to. He's basically like how Spider-Man is. He's the original Ant-Man. And people theorize that his real power is just like Chronicle is just like force manipulation.
Ah, yes.
And that's what gives him all the other powers. So that's pretty sick. I believe it. Ants definitely are force users.
You very well may check your inventory to see what that actually has to it. But as we kind of end off here, I will say, Rodrick, falling down a massive column of fire, you find yourself entirely unscathed, and instead it almost brings comfort to you. Feeling now that each of these blows to you that would normally kill you instead seem to fuel you further.
Dope.
And falling lower and lower, you can see now where there is this platform below that almost slows your descent. And as you come down to it, you recognize this massive reddened stone below. And with it, you start to make shape of all of this room now around you, falling into place.
Do I land on the stone?
And you do, in fact, land on the stone, where you can feel a constant source of heat emanating from below your feet.
I would like to do a superhero landing.
Of course you would. And so you do.
When I fall, land like a superhero, and in that same vein have the whip in my hand and go whoosh, whoosh. And then look up and you just see the hood, and underneath it the face of a salamander, or the golden salamander. Oh, I'm so cool now.
Looking forward, you can tell now that not only is this connected to another chamber, some sort of antechamber, if you will, but rather there is so much more to this room than where you're currently standing. Across from you, you can see where there's a very similar blue room with puddles of water and ice leaking out from it. And beside you, a deep, deep purple glow starts to take over as this surge of power gets released from this room. However, that is where we'll leave for tonight.
That's crazy.
You now get to see the lower level.
These are the other.
Those are the other chambers.
Yep.
The other trials.
Wait a minute. Wait. So he landed. Where he landed was like
Fire.
on. What was fire stuff? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought he landed on a rock.
So I landed on fire. You're about to land on Aether.
Joel, would you have gone through your?
No. I would absolutely not, because I now understand that everything that happened downstairs was supposed to happen now. That's now I want to go back down there. So maybe we'll deal with that next time. But I want to go down there and first of all check if I turned off the river of ether that was below the grate. Second of all, lift the grate. Third of all, see if I can float. And then fly around down there without worrying about falling further into the below the greatness.
I will speed run you through all of these questions, as they are worthy questions, yet also dead ends.
It's kind of like
It
right.
would be very feasible for you to lift the grate now.
Okay.
B, be faded, much like the river above you is, but still existent.
Okay.
When you go into it, it simply floats you back up to the top as a direct entryway, straight to the top as a chutes and ladders kind of.
Oh, sick! I'm gonna drop all of the
return.
buckets of rocks, all the barrels of rocks into that.
Oh, that's what you should have done to begin with.
first place. But I couldn't
Those
lift the
things
grate,
would have
yeah.
dealt so much damage. So the
Oh, I
heavily
bet.
weighted things are still attracted to him, but harder for it to pull in and cut off by the river.
I gave it one shot. I just did a horrible 2 rolls. He gave me
So-
advantage. I rolled a 2 and a 5.
That was pretty rough.
Nice.
Because, yeah, everything was constantly being pulled towards it once it was seeped in ether.
So if you would have put the
That's sick.
sword in ether, it would have just stabbed him.
Yeah.
When he
He
pulled it in?
just sent it straight through.
That's
So there was
So
a
sick.
lot of things that could have been done. Instead, he chose his own form as that weapon that was pulling towards it.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw
But-
all those rocks and the really heavy sword and
well done.
the bone dagger all into the
Nice.
thing, and then just try to
Definitely a
collect those all
lot
up there.
more, lot less encumbrant than it was previously. Now with the Mask of the Ant. Do you want to share anything about that before we?
Shoot. The
close
first
out
thing
for a
I'll say is
second?
I can lift up to 5,000 pounds without being encumbered. Just I just have it, just walking around with 5,000 pounds. So that I was like, yeah, right now I'm getting all that stuff. Yeah, I'll read. So it has a lot of like the flavor text that we kind of already know. So I'll skip into the stuff that it does. You gain a climb speed equal to your walking speed, so I'm basically a monkey again. Super exciting for me. While touching a surface, you cannot be moved from it against your will. So I'm definitely moving on to that trial next. That's gonna be so sick.
whoa.
Yeah.
Well, that's.
Which makes me a little sad too, because that was also how
But
I got
then-
pushed out of the water one. And I'm like,
But
man, I should have just come here
can you
first.
wear the mask and still wear the other one?
Shoot, I'm 1/4 guardian of this place. I can do what I want. Let's
Yeah,
see.
this is-
I think it kind of alludes to that because it said the mask only functions within the ziggurat. So I think it's almost intended to help you like continue on through the trials.
You're good.
This is.
Is that a true inference?
There are aspects to each of the rewards, masks, and rewards that can be used towards the next trial, depending.
Hmm.
So, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention as we look on from the outside, but each of these is on a different floor. So after doing all this, what else would Cleave do?
Rest for a whole other hour.
Okay.
And still maybe even cry a little bit more. Do a little bit, just a softer one.
Cry a little bit.
Makes sense. Death is hard.
like, yeah, I'd be like,
just cry a little bit.
because I killed something that might have been one of a kind. It might have been the only one. I might have made something extinct out of desperation for our mission that we have to do.
But now you are one of a kind.
Honestly, I spoke too soon with too much hope in Nick potentially, but otherwise I'll stay hopeful. Sorry, do continue. You would cry?
Yeah, so I'll basically just kind of like gather all the stuff next to this creature and just set it, kind of sit beside it. I'll feel emotional a little bit, and I'll probably even do a little bit of prayer, and sort of just be apologizing and not knowing what to do with myself as I just try to like rest up again. Fully assuming this is what was happening for Rodrick. Just like, yeah, he must have taken a long time because you need to rest between these hard trials. And then after about an hour, I'd go into the exit with all the stuff I can gather.
Fantastic.
Oh, Rodrick was completely unscathed. He didn't even waste his spell slot.
Is that so?
Wow.
Yep.
That's
No,
amazing.
Unrivaled.
he wasted one with a Zephyr Strike. That's
that was clutch though.
Just
that
the
was a
one-
big
yeah.
deal.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
True.
Well, then next time we will pick up with Cleave now in the Earth Trial, falling down into a pit of sand.
Huh. This is gonna take a
Wait,
little
it just
bit of a
falls
toll.
down into the Earth Trial?
Yes.
Are you
As-
supposed to start at Aether? Is that
if
actually
you
how
look,
it is?
each of these
go.
is at a different level of the bastion, and directly below Aether is Earth.
The
Wow.
final
And
one is
just below
fire.
that is fire, which
Oh.
means technically speaking, that's why I said I might have given too much credit to Nick technically, because realistically, if he doesn't pass his trial, Rodrick would
You're
then
supposed to fall into
move down
water.
into the water trial, where he instead now has a fire whip and
Yeah, you're totally
More
supposed to start with
capability.
Aether.
Just start
Yeah.
That's super helpful for you.
Yeah, well,
Man.
again,
there's not much
you
that I
can
can do now,
either
so-
take it on as a team or take it on as a one-man army, but either way, you guys have found ways to pass now 2 of your 4 trials.
this is gonna take a toll on Arlyn.
So Arlyn,
This really
unfortunately,
is.
unless somebody now fails again separately, may very
Just
well have
water.
just been booted from
What happens
the
if I
ziggurat.
landed the fire? It's already been beaten.
So it will not open to fire afterwards.
Do I fall
You'll just
through fire
continue
and into water?
Into water.
Okay.
But, all right. With that, do we have a short
Wow.
word for our divine inspiration for this week?
Well,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
we're
There.
on the next commandment.
This is great.
On the next commandment.
I realize it is quite late, so I'm gonna just,
Oh, we
for
gotta
everyone's
level
sake,
down.
ask that we try to keep it a little short, despite the
Oh,
fact
man.
that
I
obviously
have a lot to
this
say
is
about
what
this
it's all
Pretty
for.
self-explanatory
But,
and short. So that should be simple enough.
Exodus
Here,
20.
go ahead,
There we
read
go.
it.
All right, so we're in
So-
Exodus chapter 20 for everybody who
Verse-
doesn't remember.
Verse 8.
Very
Verse
good.
8 is the now 4th commandment.
Correct. And it reads, it's a little bit of a long text, so it's 8 through 11.
Oh,
believe.
I thought you were joking just 8 because I'm like, that was pretty short, but
No, 8 through 11.
All right.
But I feel like this fits for a short Devo, because it just says, remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy, to keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord your God. In it you shall do no work, you, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your male servant, nor your female servant, nor your cattle, nor your stranger who is within your gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested the 7th day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
that's awesome. Oh yeah, that was actually a big chunk of it there.
I think that's
It's probably the longest portion in
It is.
out of all these.
But I feel like that is one of the hardest ones for people to keep,
Yeah.
especially in society nowadays.
I think there's a lot
I
of
know
people
it's
that
hard
think you're
for me.
supposed to not like people kind of almost think you're supposed to ignore that one. Like, oh, that's Old Testament. It's like, no, this is the 10 Commandments, man. Like,
Yeah.
this matters.
Yeah.
So, I know I struggle with that one, especially because you get a crazy week, you know, when you got kids and everything, and then the one free day that you have, it's like time to get the chores done. You know,
man.
and so, yeah, no, I definitely need to see how I can implement that into my life a little bit better.
Cool.
You
I
know?
love that. Honestly,
there's a
so
lot to
I
be
think
said
the
about this one.
important.
I have a. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. The important note here is that within the context of the New Testament, we as Christians have largely moved the Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday, and I believe it was Paul who essentially said that no one day is more important, more significant, more holy than another. And so
Yeah.
in that, we recognize that, as the commandment stated, you are to work 6 days and rest on the 7th.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if your Sabbath is a Sunday, a Monday, a Tuesday, a Saturday.
Sabbath is not a Sunday.
It's not that
Sabbath is
it's not that
a day
true
of
for
rest.
you
Yeah,
too, yeah.
it is not a Sunday, so
Yeah. And there's a lot of debate to this, so I'm gonna give it that asterisk, I guess. But I definitely stand on God didn't just take Saturday and say this is a really important day. You guys really need to care a lot about Saturdays. I don't think that was the point.
Yeah.
I think it was just it was almost a percentage rule. Like, hey, you work 6 days, you need to take a break. And I think there's a really beautiful thing in here. Like, the reason it's so much longer than just remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy, which I kind of recently learned means set apart, right? It means set apart a day, right?
yeah.
Set apart your 7th day, make it different from your other ones. So it really goes in. So it says 6 days you should do all your work, and then the 7th day devote to the Lord your God, which is also an important part of it. But here's where it kind of gets, I think this is why it's so much longer than the other ones. It said you shall not do any work, or your son, your daughter, your male servant, your female servant, your livestock, or the sojourner who is within your gates. So that part is speaking very specifically to people who are in a position of authority. So that is saying, if you have children, if you have employees, servants, if you have even animals, you are not. This is a commandment to you as the person in power to not make anybody work all 7 days a week. And I think that's like a really beautiful thing about the fact that this law was a law, because Israel's a country, right? So like for them, this was like an establishment from the very top of the government down, which was God, down to everybody, so that you were going to be guaranteed a day off from your authorities. If you don't act on it, if you choose to work, you're messing up your own life, but it was given to you. And I think that's really a beautiful thing about the idea that there's a lot of debate about whether or not America is a Christian country, but definitely like in terms of like federal work, unless of course like, you know, military, police work has to be open on Sundays, but generally everything's got Sundays off, usually Saturdays and Sundays. And so I really love that importance that we have in, you know, the country where we have this freedom, that you do get to have more times than not, you do get to have a Sabbath. I think that's really important.
I think for those who argue against the Sabbath currently, I think it's interesting because there are very clear shows within, we'll say, nature, loosely, that show that God's work is intentional and that he says these things for good reason. And the example that I always point out to is muscle growth. You cannot work out every single day and have the same muscle groups constantly broken down and expect them to grow. You need to give them a day of rest. Yeah. And so most people don't suggest working out every single day, and especially because even if you're trying to work like muscle groups that are close to another, you'll probably still end up working that muscle group to some extent. So what you should really do is at most really work out 6 days a week. I still will suggest primarily like 4 for most people. But work out 6 days a week, just like you would regular labor, and then on that 7th, your body still needs that rest. And it's interesting that that's not something that they knew back then. That's not something. No, it's something that God said, "Hey, this is what you should be doing."
Yeah.
And we like to dodge that, but it's for our own good, even, you know. And so it's crazy to think that mentally, physically, there's always something, but obviously the big one then spiritually, right?
Correct. Yeah, I always wondered how or why rest was built into the design of just not just humans, but all, you know, different mammals and whatnot. We all have to rest.
Yeah.
It's almost like we're robots that need to be rebooted. And I always wonder, I'm like, why? Yeah. And it's some things we'll never have answers to because it's just in the way that we were created, and that's how God intended us to be, and that's how we as his creation function the best. Mm-hmm. We function the best with rest.
Yeah, for sure.
T-shirt. But yeah, it's interesting. I for one, I'm kind of with Manny on that one. I value rest, but I don't put it at the pinnacle of what I do. So that is my struggle.
Yeah.
It's a game changer, let me tell you. That was one of the biggest changes I made in my own life, that I was like, no, I'm going to give that time to God, and I'm going to relax. I'm not going to work. I'm not going to. And I used to take it much more seriously even than I do now, which honestly I'd like to get back to. But man, it changed my life in so many great ways.
Yeah.
So many great ways.
I think an important point as well is that it directly points out the fact that God, the Almighty God, rested on the 7th day. I mean, did he really need to rest?
He's always our example. Yeah, no, he didn't need to.
Did he really need to rest?
Which is why.
But it's the example. Yeah, it's the example that he, from the creation of time, set for us to follow.
Yep.
So, what are you gonna say?
Yeah, I was gonna say, which is why, because just like God set an example there, that's exactly how Jesus operated his whole life. The purpose of his 33 years on earth, and not just coming in just to do a sacrifice, was to be an example to us, right? A huge part of what he did on earth was as an example. And that's why you get verses like Mark 2:27 where he says the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. And then in Matthew 12:8 he says, for the Son of Man is Lord of the Sabbath. right? So he's putting himself in the authority of the Sabbath, telling you what you can and cannot do. And the authority he's given was a command not for you to not help your neighbor, as they were like, that was the whole discourse happening here, not to not heal people. The command was to your governing authorities and to anybody in position of power over you to say that you got to give people a rest because that's what I have ordained for them, right? So, of course, you want to give yourself a rest too, but I think you should really feel that weight even more so with, like, you guys have kids, right? Like,
Yeah.
like if you got them working 7 days a week, that's where you should feel it on your heart even more, because it's like,
Yeah.
you know that your father led an example for you, and so then that's for us to do now.
Yeah.
Totally. Totally. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Awesome. All right. Anything else to add, guys?
I think we're good.
That's it.
Simple
Love
enough.
this.
Well, hey, I guess with that, to leave you guys with homework, make sure you get rest at least one good time this week. Set apart some time with God, and we'll be trying to do the same over here. We love you guys. Rest up. See you next week.
Later.